We are red. Red is on.
Today is Thursday, August 3rd, 2017. Let this meeting of the Tilton Board of Selectmen come to order. Please let the record show that John Scanlon has not joined us as of yet. I believe he's on his way, and the rest of the board is present. Let's stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, minutes. July 27th. Please.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have part of this, okay.
Lights. Oh, lights.
Thank you.
That sink. As you've used it,
Yeah?
you wash your hands like this. The faucets.
Don't you love that?
I guess
You
not.
now have the sink that you can use.
Wasn't it only one before?
Yes.
But it just didn't stay on.
I haven't seen the new one.
It's
Under
two.
other, Bitter and Lane, briefly discussed the issues with mowing debris entering the wetlands area. I'd like to make sure that this, paragraph, it's the petroleum products.
There's more.
Yep. Was there?
Yeah. See,
Well,
it reflects the current.
yeah, but this is this conversation. This one, I believe, we're talking about the engineering, right?
Correct.
So if we're going to talk about what I reported to the board, was that there was what appeared to be petroleum/oil floating in the waters coming from that ditch through the culvert to the east side of the road. The mowing debris was not at this time entering the wetlands. The mowing debris was discarded on top of or very near the end of a culvert outlet. So I just want to make sure those points are in there, please.
I agree.
Especially since I just sent him a letter today. Should we capitalize Conservation Commission in the first paragraph in the second page? I think we usually do, don't we? In at least two places. The highway block grant money? Should we mention in here that it doesn't expire at the end of the year if it's not used? Which you can confirm with Joyce, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. In fact, we could vote to put it in the, I don't know if we could, we'll have to ask Joyce that one.
Did you want the fire report? Okay, he said it's the tattoo person. He was down in the basement using a little Honda generator. He had changed the oil, and he had it vented through a dryer vent stuff into the alleyway.
It's not supposed to be in the basement.
the chief said. He explained to him about carbon monoxide and fire. Problem is that before it was this guy and another guy, they were partners, and they're supposed to share the electric bill. So there's no electricity, that's why he's running the generator. He's not living down there, he's just doing some work down there.
I'm supposed to be down there at all.
And I told the chief that I would notify the code enforcement officer and the health officer. And also, they said that he could, the code allows, he can run an electric generator outdoors, but it has to be 10 feet from the building. Well, he's moved it, but it's smoking.
Good call. Calling the fire
So,
department. Thank you, Joyce.
so I'll let him decide.
Okay. We're reviewing the minutes of
Just get.
July 27th.
You have to be
With a
here.
couple of small changes.
Thank you.
Well, ask for additions, actually.
What's this in here? 'Cause this is it. I'll pull the extra. You're welcome.
What's that?
Yeah.
Everybody else set with the minutes?
Yep.
Corrections or changes? Motion to accept the minutes of Thursday, July 27th, 2017 as corrected.
Ashley seconded.
Second?
Second.
Or did you get?
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Joyce? Question. Last we talked about IRS regulations regarding the tax implications of town-owned vehicles used for commuting purposes. You thought that the Public Works Department, that would be considered a frontline vehicle and not have to.
Yes.
Okay. You confirmed that. We heard anything from the people who were supposed to fix the fence at the Civil War Monument?
No, I did not, I was on my list of people to call this week, I have not called them. I'm still on my list to call.
Okay. And Ridge Road R&D,
I did call R&D, I emailed R&D, and they either called me, I can't remember if they called me, or I got an email back from them saying that he would be in touch with me today, I thought, but, and I just went out and checked, and Rich wasn't out there.
all right, can we try to
Yep,
get
I
those
got
done
that.
for next
Yep.
week? Thank you. Anybody else have anything regarding the minutes? I understand that our Boston Post-Cane recipient has passed, Rachel Glidden.
Yes.
That's very sad news. Cindy's aware.
Yes. In lieu of flowers, they're asking for a donation to the Friends program in Concord.
For what?
for the Friends program in Concord.
Oh, very nice.
Expressions of sympathy may be made in Rachel's name to the Friends program, 202 North State Road, North State Street in Concord.
Did everybody hear that?
I'll make a motion, we do make a donation.
Suggested amount?
Can't remember what we've done in the past. Joyce, do you remember what we've done in the past for donations? You know what we've done in the past for donations as far as, if somebody's passed away, that we made a donation in Norm's name, we've made a donation in other people's.
I think for, I don't know if it's been for Boston Post came.
No, I'm not saying Boston
Oh.
Post came in lieu of flowers. for-
Yes, yes,
Do you
What do we
remember
normally
the
spend on
amount?
flowers?
50.
Okay. So
That's
I'll
what we
make,
normally spend on flowers?
Yep.
Nice bouquet.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion on that donation or the amount? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it, motion carries.
On the same note, I'd like to make a motion that we send a fruit basket to the Pearson family.
Oh, that would just do it anyway.
You do it, okay. Okay,
Um,
they just go with that.
Okay, so we're
just reading this, I'm sorry.
You have it. Anybody else want to read it?
I'll leave it for...
Mentions us in the obituary.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into a non-public session as per 91A. C. Matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the body or agency itself.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Fogg, yes.
St. John, yes.
Constantino, yes?
Scanlon, yes.
Dawson, yes. Now, you have a right to choose to have the meeting in public if you wish.
On camera and other people can see it. You're right. Shut the door.
Why not?
We are red, red is on.
All right, so, Tim Pearson, notified
Seal the minutes.
Seal the minutes in the non-public as they pertain to that which would adversely affect the reputation of others permanently.
Second.
roll call vote.
Fogg, yes.
St. John, yes.
Constantino, yes.
Dawson, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Motion carries. Tim Pearson will be cross-training two employees. Gail will be doing accounts payable. Lisa will be doing the payroll, townwide. So he'll be cross-training them in the next few weeks. FYI. All right, has everybody done their homework? For the
Which one?
recycling proposal? Why do I keep losing that?
Do you have new sheets for us? Because you were gonna redo them.
Well, we weren't done with our criticism of them.
Got to the whole thing.
Okay.
I've got more stuff highlighted.
With my new car.
Did you have this from last week?
Yep.
Do you have a spare one over there? Mine's up in the...
Do you have a spare one up here, or do you want me to copy one? No, I've looked for mine. Tony coming up?
Yes.
Anybody else want up there? Water?
Sure, I will. Thanks.
You also, oh, actually, you're all set. Like a cup of water and serving drinks. So.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Make a motion, we reconvene the onions.
I've been drinking mango
You want to sit there? And
burrito for days.
here's the,
Let's go.
this is the last one you gave me. That's, this is my markup of the last.
I think last week, the biggest issue, one of the biggest issues that we had was it was way too much information on the paper. Too
Not my biggest
confusing.
issue.
Well, I said one of.
Well, we can simplify the initial brochure as a welcome to brochure instead, and cram it down to a more manageable, like one page.
One page.
Yeah, type thing.
You've got a lot of information here for one page. I mean,
Well-
this is 2 pages in itself, is it not?
I don't think it's all necessary.
Yeah, like the.
How do you trim this down to
the-
one
the-
page?
Well, when you,
The tips,
yeah, you said
like,
it.
we don't need that.
Yeah, that stuff there is pretty standard stuff. You've already been doing it, single stream
Yeah, it
recycling.
still needs to go. Every time we send something out, this needs to go.
Well, it can. It could be the front page that we make more informatory.
These 2 pages.
Yeah,
I had a
we can
question.
trim that down to single page.
Tony, you've done these changeovers for other towns, and you'll be the one, so if anybody has any questions whatsoever, you guys go field all those?
Me, personally.
You.
Yeah,
So-
whenever I do a new town, the way I do it is, first off, I personally, in a town this size, I personally deliver the cards. And then I talk to people, I talk it up. They all come out to talk to me and stuff, so I do a lot of education there. But then, if the first day is August 12th, okay, it's a Monday, I go out ahead of the trucks and look for problems. People that didn't get the memo or whatever. Knock on doors, take down addresses. And since we're going to be 4 days a week, and I've got a truck dedicated to 5 days a week for this town. In other words, this guy has nothing to do but Tilton now, okay? That 5th day is going to be for, Friday is going to be for holidays and for taking over some of our residential stuff that we have up here that's been done with another truck up till now, or another carrier, and building up on, subscription service. People that are out of the mold in towns and they want personalized service and stuff like that. So, but out of the get-go, he's not gonna have anything to do. So he'll be my own little private guy to help me out. And he's gonna be based out of here, the truck will be parked up here, he lives close to here, and he knows the town, he's a recycling guy right now. So he's very familiar with the town already. So, but me going ahead, I see the things, and I know a lot of the people already because I live up here, and I can see where problems might come in, and I try to preempt them before the phone call comes, and that is the world of difference. All the calls to my office, and I hope through your office if you get them, I have them forward them right to my cell phone, okay, and my emails. They forward them and I get them right on my phone. So I just look all day and I try to do instant callback. That way I don't get a machine or they leave or they think they got to call someone else. They're trying to get back to them within 10, 15 minutes of their call. And it works well. It develops a relationship. It's easier for me to explain the program because I developed it and I know the area. So those things are really what make it successful. Anytime you give one of these things out, you're at the mercy of the people reading it, regardless of whether it's simple or complicated.
So we'll leave it to you and Joyce to try to trim this down and get the fluff out. It is repetitive. But does anybody have any I mean, I have some very specific things I just wanted to bring up. Does
Yeah,
anybody
sure.
have anything
I'm
specific?
gonna borrow a pen here.
Please.
I left mine
Do
with,
you- do you have-
Like, I get rid of the whole first page because everything's on this page.
Well, no, I meant as far as bag, garbage, curbside, you need some scratch paper?
no, I'm good. I got enough here to make notes.
One of them is because I got some phone calls, and I'm sure others have gotten some phone calls on the bags.
Yeah. And again, this was a educated guess at this point. I'm leaving this up to you. This was just a first draft. Let's get
Okay,
the conversation
what about the
going.
bags?
Yeah.
Well, the phone calls that I got was, why don't we make it simple and we have a 96-gallon black trash cart. A 96-gallon black trash cart holds a lot. It does. I bought one several years ago for my tenant. It holds more than 3 white kitchen bags
Oh,
in it.
this is your ordinance specifies, I believe, 32 or 33 gallon.
Right.
And there's no such thing as a 33-gallon bag, but that's besides the point.
Right, exactly.
30 gallons.
So
and higher.
it does.
So, go ahead, Pat.
And I think that we've been recycling for a lot of years, and a few years, and we want to encourage recycling, so why not just make it very simple and say whatever fits into that black trash cart that's in bags, that's what you'll pick up. In excess of that, buy a purple bag and bring it down to the center, or hold it over to the following week and pick it up.
Why would they buy a purple bag to hold it over for the following
You
week?
won't
If
need
we're
to
only-
buy a
if we're
purple
not gonna
bag
put
if you
them on.
hold it over, but if you bring it down to
Yeah, Just wanted to clarify.
bring it down to the highway garage, you would.
So
Absolutely.
you're saying no bags on top of the can,
Right, because
or on the
For
side?
instance, you
If it's
have-
not in the can, no bags.
there's
Bring the
quite a
bag
bit
to
that
town
fits
hall,
in
Town
those.
garage.
Can I, let me throw a couple things out at you.
Let me add to that. As health officer,
Yep.
I really do not like, but I do it, going to people's property, especially apartment buildings, and having to pick through bags because they were put out the night before. Our ordinance allows garbage to be put out, has to be after 5 PM, but it's not. I mean,
Whatever, yeah.
goes out all time of day on Wednesday for a Thursday pickup. It's out there 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and
We get a cycle of
The
bears
problem
in our
is-
area.
is the litter. They're really, for the board, how does everyone else feel? No bag should be allowed unless it's in a can, lidded. And in this case, it would have to be in the 96-gallon black.
I'd like to have Tony finish so I could hear
Well, I was
presentation.
Well,
adding
you
know,
have to
it's
make a
complete
decision,
before we-
because some
is
of
our
this, what's in
decision.
here, John, some of this, what's in here, is we have to decide on whether the 3-bag or the, or the purple bags, and, because this is what's in here. We have to make that decision as the Board of Selectmen.
right. It's up to
So-
us whether we're going to allow it or not. But
If we really made it just simple and said whatever's gonna fit into these big, and I have a 96-gallon trash that I paid $100 for it. A couple of years ago, from Home Depot, there's a lot that can fit in
The
there.
same size as your recycling bins, which hold a lot of stuff.
Tony, what's your opinion on that? No bags on the cans?
Okay, so the thoughts that, when I look at a residential program, a municipal residential program, I look at the whole population, not just the norm. And what Pat's saying is absolutely true. 90% of your people can get away with that 96 gallon, and they probably will, no problem. It's the 10% that have large families that, it's not through their fault or they're not recycling, they just have a lot of stuff. But there's also stuff like birthday parties and Christmas, and your refrigerator breaks and you have to throw everything away. There's stuff like that can be a burden on someone that doesn't have excess capacity, and that's why we developed some of these rental programs like I discussed in the past, the Yellow Top. If they want to rent another one, well, half goes to the town, half goes to the carrier, and it takes care of your dump fee, but it also gives the the person with a excess problem, and he's not being treated any differently than anybody else, okay?
I know we
He
had a
chose
rental
to-
program as a component of this.
It wasn't, I'm just saying
Is
that
it?
that's
Oh,
similar
okay.
to your,
Yeah, let's
yeah.
stick to
another
It's similar to your
community.
purple
Let's try to
bag
stick to
idea,
this.
is, in other words, that's on the same concept as the purple bag idea, yellow top rental or about being able to buy excess capacity. In your case, you guys were talking about purple bags. So to me, if you were to offer for that situation an outlet for them to be able to put excess material out or on top, in those cases where you have those people, then you're going to make a lot more people happy. The volume limit, whether it was 2 bags or 3 bags,
It's 2 bags.
I thought I'd heard 3, and that's why I did the visual of 3, but it could be 1 and 1 or 2 on top and none on the ground, or whatever you can fit, and that's fine too, but it gives your people, it gives them an alternative to having to hold over or to go down to highway. So that was point 1. Point 2 is what I'm seeing on the street. And I've been running this route. I ran it for 6 weeks from January 1st forward, ahead of the trucks, okay? I've made 2 more cycles over 2 weeks to count all of your dwellings and record them and see, who had what for barrels and all that stuff. And I didn't see it. My drivers aren't seeing it. They're not tagging a lot of people for excess material since we put that first ordinance out January 1st. We haven't had to use the stickers, but a handful here and there. So I don't see the problem is going to develop if that's what your norm is. So again, if you feel it's going to dirty up the program or create problems, it's your program, and I respect that. That's just what we have offered in other towns, is some kind of an excess capacity without them having to either hire a private carrier or go to a faraway location or a further away location. And then we just, we try to keep it even-handed across the board, treat everybody the same way, So.
It's a health issue, though. I mean, trash shouldn't be in the barrel, bottom line. If somebody, think about this, if somebody can accumulate that much trash where they have excess, then they should be able to get out of their house and bring the trash. How are they getting all this garbage if they can't get out of the house?
The only thing I would say to that is that the bag program is still, unfortunately, one of the most popular programs in the country. Is being able to put it in a barrel or a bag on the street, and you guys are doing it as we speak. So I don't know your town in that capacity. You would probably be the expert on that. How much problems have occurred from that, and limiting it down to most of it being in the barrel so that you only have an occasional excess on the side being a purple bag. Would that alleviate your health concern? I don't know. I'm not you.
Any trash outside of the barrel, I'm not okay with. Also, then other people, what's the point of the barrel? Other people are just going to throw their trash like they do now at the end of the drive.
I'm a collection guy. I would rather not have to take overloaded loaded barrels or pick stuff off the ground. But we do it when the opinion of the town is the other way. And everyone has their own opinions, okay? Different towns think differently, different people think differently. So I'm not pushing for a purple bag program. I just thought that it would be a win-win. One, it would give you guys some revenue for that excess where people want it, and 2, it might be more favorable to some residents that do have that problem, especially on party weeks and stuff like that. But again, I don't have a preference one way or the other.
Is it cheaper for us if there were no bags on top at all, and we just limited and made it simple and just say, no bags on top, whatever can fit in the barrel can fit in the barrel? Or, if we limited 1 or 2 bags on the top,
Yeah, see,
which is cheaper
for me,
for
it
us?
doesn't cost me anything. It costs you in disposal,
Right.
which the bag cost theoretically covers, okay?
Right.
And for me, my truck's doing the same thing, dunk, dunk, okay? And the reason I offered the 1 bag on the ground was because I actually thought you guys were going to be of a different mindset, that you were afraid people that do have these birthday parties or whatever were going to come in with their pitchforks and torches.
And that-
But, which is usually a common theme that I hear from selectmen meetings and whatnot, is that they're afraid that if they limit people to just one. But, I'll be honest with you, town of Hudson, for instance, I was shocked in 2007 when they not only decided to go to automated, when their old program was what we call a Cadillac program, put anything you want at the curb and glue it in the Cadillac and it disappears. It was like that for 20 years. They couldn't control the volume. They went to 165 gallon cart, period, okay? And then they offered 195 for recycling. And I was shocked, it worked. The 10%ers were our only problem, and that's why they ended up developing the yellow excess program for those who needed it or didn't feel like taking it elsewhere.
We've been limiting them ever since we returned recycling to 3 bags. Have we not? 3 bags at the curb.
No, it used to be 5.
Five?
Which was your old
5
program,
bags,
Then we
yeah.
went to 3?
Yeah.
But if you
made the motion.
take a look at no situations where you would have a party. Let's say down the street has a huge party during Halloween. Well, you know, in the village district, everybody knows everyone, and it's like that weekend. I only have 1 bag. Hey, Pat, can I put a couple bags in your trash? Yeah, sure, no problem. And that's what neighbors help neighbors. I mean, it all works out. I would think that that's what people would get the gist of trying to do.
Let me suggest another, the Hudson program, okay? It added it on after the fact. It identified problems after they went to that very extreme program, and then they listened to their residents over the course of 5 years, okay? And then they developed the subscription program. And a lot of towns have done that too. They start with a program that they think is going to work, they use an educated guess, and they put it out there and they promote it and they work it and all that, but then you notice that you have some recurring themes of residents, you know, complaining about this or that. And so maybe that's the way to go, is to start off with a strict program based on your ordinance that you have now, which is 1 barrel, okay, for trash, no purple bags.
And access to the highway.
Yeah.
I think our residents are used to the whole purple bag thing, and I do think, I agree with Pat and Ashley that all garbage should be in a lidded container, no bags on the side, but I do believe we need to give our residents an avenue for their excess trash. Otherwise, I'm gonna be picking it up in the woods.
Can I?
So, we've got the purple bags, we already have them.
And we already have the
We have
ordinance.
a venue to sell them, so they're available. If somebody's gonna have a party, plan ahead, buy a bunch of purple bags, and then take them down to Public Works when it's open and toss them away.
Let me just, I'll add this to that. I saw a program in a town, whose name is Kensington, just recently. I didn't know it, it's a small town that no one in traffic has really ever noticed it too much. They only had like 800 residents, okay? And I went out to bid and I noticed that they had this sticker program, okay? Where they could buy a roll of stickers and it's $1 sticker, $2 sticker, whatever, and they could put it on a 33 gallon bag, put it out. Which doesn't lend to this. I'm just saying different ideas are out there, but it's, if you really wanted to see containerized service, then that yellow top program has been very successful for us. Bo
We already
loves
own the
it.
bags.
Yeah,
Huh?
we'll do that after we sell our bags.
But here's what I'm saying is, the bags are sitting there anyways, not doing anything. A yellow top program is all my cost, okay? But you get $75 per bin per year to you, and I get $75 for delivering it and dumping it. So the $75 is to cover your, we say an average of 50 pounds per barrel is what the average is, and it doesn't even come up to that from what we've done for
So when,
ourselves.
as an owner, I would have to pay $150 a year to rent it.
To rent it, yes. So that would give you the ability to have excess capacity, but yet still containerized. We
I think-
deliver them, we take the money, and then we give you,
I would think that that would be a program down the road.
Yeah, when we run out of bags, we can address that.
Exactly.
We have the
I
bags.
think it's an excellent program, but I think it's
So,
something down the road.
let's get a consensus of the selectmen. John, how do you feel about old trash in the can, no bags at the curbside, excess garbage, purple bags, take to the dump?
I'd like to go with whatever Tony professionally feels that the best thing for the town is, and then if we need to change something because people are calling in, change it from them,
Okay.
from there on.
Pat?
I want everything simple, in the garbage bag, nothing on top, purple bag by, if you need to go down to the garage.
Peter?
Whatever Tony says.
Okay, I'm the third vote. We've already gone through a new program with town, we know what they want. And you're right, this board knows. All garbage in the cans, purple bags, down to the dump. So that's 3-2. Do you want me to make that a motion, or is the consensus good enough, everybody? All right, let's move on.
fine.
So,
Question. Is, right now, the ordinance says 2 bags, which we're gonna say purple bags. Do you wanna change that number from 2 to 3 to unlimited?
To whatever
Whatever
can fit
fit.
in the,
No.
To going to the
I
height
think if
access.
they're gonna
As much
buy
as they
purple
want.
bags to go to Public Works, this is just my opinion, if we're gonna have them buying purple bags to bring to Public Works, it's the only thing that's going down there, then they should be able to put bring in whatever they want down.
if they're paying for them.
Right,
if they're
because we're
paying
not
for the
changing the
bags.
price.
Nope.
So are we changing the price to
Everybody?
the purple bags?
We
No,
already
not
established
changing the
that
price.
we're making a small profit with the purple bags, so let them put as much as they want.
Well, it's not. Yes, you're right, the joke, you're right. Alright, so the only thing we'd have to change in our ordinance in here is just that all of the
MSW, whatever fits
MSW
in.
has to be in a plastic bag,
Okay.
a bag, any plastic
And
bag,
you'll take care of that?
or paper bag, and goes in the black bin.
You'll take care of that?
Wait.
Joyce?
I have to put
Not purple
my
bags
garbage in a
bin.
bag in the bin?
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's-
can't have loose garbage in
That's
the
the
bin.
next discussion I was gonna bring up.
Oh, okay, well then,
Can I tackle that one? Because
Yes.
here's the thing.
Say whatever.
Trash placed inside the cart must be bagged using traditional store-bought trash bags. Well, what the heck is a traditional store-bought trash bag? Because they come in all different
Hefty,
colors
hefty,
and
hefty.
sizes.
Yeah, I didn't like that wording at all.
I use my dog food bags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I use grain bags. A bag is a bag is a bag.
That's what I thought,
And
so
I
why
take-
complicate it with traditional store-bought? But
I
my
take-
marketing director thinks that they're gonna understand that better because.
I mean, I take market bags.
Can I just tell you
market
what her
basket.
answer was? Her answer was, well, you don't want to confuse it with a purple bag, because she thought we were, again, going to go with the purple bag on top. So to change that to just bagged material is simple and understandable.
How about
So-
trash placed inside the cart must be bagged
Yeah,
and must fit within the confines of the cart?
that's what all of our other programs say. The only reason she added it was strictly because of the
Okay.
purple bag component. She was afraid that some people might confuse and think they have to, then you'll be getting inundated with calls. I have to buy bags to put them inside the, and she didn't
I
want
gotta
that.
buy bags to recycle.
Yeah.
Right, and no maggots.
Well, this is the thing. There's 2 reasons why. One, these carts, when you use bag trash, they stay fairly clean, okay, for a long period of time. And in automated programs, when you're dealing on the trash side of things, they tend to get really, really bad if people don't maintain them. But if you bag them, it does it for them. 2, as we're dumping the carts on a windy day, okay, you don't want loose materials being able to be swept out of the throw at the apex. The apex is just as it's coming
A little
towards the...
juice on the side.
And the
Get
wind
caught in
takes the
wind.
papers and the popcorn.
The peanut, yeah.
You call it
Styrofoam.
popcorn, plastic things there, and they go flying, and then everyone thinks that we're horrible because we're littering. And thirdly, if the machine ever breaks down in an emergency situation, or sometimes we send out a truck to help out someone that's had a problem, or at Christmas time when we'll do like cardboard runs. We help out people on automated programs at Christmas time because there's a lot of cardboard boxes, and we offer to the towns to let the people know that for this week and this week after Christmas, we'll take excess cardboard on the side. And so we send out an extra truck. And if that truck sometime might help the other guy if he's really busy, and if the stuff is loose, they can't pick up the barrel and throw it in. They have to they have to, use a semi-automated attachment to the truck, which only dumps in one place, so they end up, having to cycle the hopper every time they do a cart, whereas they can lighten up the load by pulling a few bags out if you make them bag it. So those are the three reasons why in our industry, we all ask for
Does
bag.
anybody object to the garbage being bagged in the cart?
I don't.
No, it's very logical.
This is MSW, you're not talking about recycle.
We're talking about trash.
Yes.
Yep,
You're not talking about recycle.
But you do have
Recycle
some
can't be
trash.
bagged. It's.
Well, I just want to make that clear for our camera.
Oh.
So, one of the other things in this, it has to do with the cumbersomeness of the, brochure. You mentioned on the second page at the top that do not mark or modify the carts in any way, and should you move, both carts must remain with the property. So there's repetitiveness through this, and I understand that when you're sending things out to the public, you often repeat the main things more than, I think the goal is 3 times through a brochure. But in this one, there's only one place that we mention that if they buy the cart, it belongs to them. So if we are going to have this language about the carts in here, could it not say, do not mark or modify these carts? Because the previous sentence says the black carts are the property of Pinard and the blue carts are the property of the town. And then, so if we say these carts,
Yep.
and then perhaps a statement after that saying the carts you buy remain your property,
Absolutely.
if you leave that in.
Yeah, I added that sentence in because the problems we have in other towns with town-owned carts is people, they don't always know that they're theirs, that they're not theirs. So they sometimes will take them with them, and now it causes you guys extra costs. But yes, absolutely, we can take each one of these, and we're going to trim this down quite a bit just with the purple bag being removed out of the equation. And
Way too much.
yeah, so it's,
Also, if we could get rid of like
Yeah,
the
it'll be,
cap, all
it's gonna be-
caps and exclamation points.
yeah, she missed it. Yeah, I got it.
But on all caps and exclamation points, like it sounds like we're yelling at them.
What are we talking about?
Left outside
About
the
the
car
cart.
will not be collected.
Changes to the collection schedule.
Electronic communication 101. Let's not do.
What did
all
we
caps.
determine on the diagram at the bottom of the second page, the 3 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet? If I remember, did that coincide with our ordinance? Where we're placing these?
If we can eliminate the bags on the top and the side, 3 feet, 3 feet.
Those
yeah.
bags.
Was
And
that-
there's
is that
not
a-
there's no issue, there's no way
There's
to,
nothing in
I
there.
Is
can't
the
pick it up if
distance-
it's not.
Yeah, the
Is the
3 feet is,
distance 3 feet, but I don't believe they're supposed to be in the street in our ordinance.
No, they're supposed to be at the edge of the travel way.
Yeah.
Requirements.
What's our ordinance say?
I'm reading right
I
now.
don't think it says travel time. I think it's within so many feet of the curb.
And I can trim that down to 2 feet too, if you need me to.
I just want it to coincide with the ordinance.
I say 3 because a lot of
Oh, it
times.
says designated curbside location.
Thank you. Okay,
5
so.
feet.
So then we can.
Yeah, and I can still trim it down. I do 3 because if I say 5, they do 3. If I say 3, they do 1. So I usually say 3, but it's actually 2 is what we can really get away with and not lose too much speed.
So Joyce, will you make this coincide?
As for
with
the exclamation
Yes,
points,
yes.
I
Or
put
if
those
we-
in
That's why I
there
circled
for
ordinance?
this
If we need
reason.
to change the ordinance, we
The
let us
number
know.
one thing that people miss on changing over to an automated is the must be in the cart thing. But I can soften it up or take them out if you
Yeah, I
like.
don't like the caps or
I can just bold it.
the exclamation.
I think-
even the bold is a little, you know,
Well, when you're trying to get out a
You wanna
point
get
to
their
someone,
attention.
you gotta get their attention
but you don't want
somehow.
to make them
But
feel stupid, like they can't read.
So does anybody have anything more specific about, like
I
we
do.
just went through the bags and the carts and,
I do.
okay, go ahead.
On the front page, we talk about, right at the very beginning, we said, for use with automated collection, residents will be issued a 96-gallon wheeled cart, a black cart for trash, and a blue cart for recycling. Well, we don't have blue carts for recycling.
there are
And
blue.
I know, some do, some don't. We don't.
Oh, I'm gonna take care of all that.
Ours are blue.
Yeah, you're
With a
good.
green top, green lid.
I've scoured the whole town.
Even the ones
Ours-
that we ordered
Casella's
later.
are blue with a
they're
green lid.
blue.
With a green lid, thank
With a
you.
Yeah,
green
but it's the
lid.
blue,
With the green lid,
yeah,
thank you.
it's the lid that's off.
Yeah, just so you know, I scouted the whole town.
Mm-hmm.
You have more excess carts at people's houses than you have people that don't have carts. And the only people that don't, that I couldn't see have the carts are the ones that have the carts, but they don't put them out. They're still inside their houses. Other than part of Country Meadow, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
up there off School
Country Meadow,
Street?
there might be a couple in there.
There's a
So
couple
they're
left in
going
there.
to be different. My point is that there are some that are going to be different from what we
They're all
have now,
blue, all blue.
with green covers.
Well, not with green covers, ours are blue.
Okay,
blue
then they're
cover.
gonna be different. So I don't want people to be confused. I think that we should say, a blue cart for blue cart with the green cover, or a blue cart with
A blue cover.
blue cover. And then that, I just know we're gonna get phone calls. I don't have a blue cart with the blue cover. I'm sorry, I don't have one of those, but I do have a blue cart with the green cover. Oh, yeah, well, that's right. Well, that's not what it says here, and I'm gonna get those calls. I know I am, and that's my point. I know what you're saying. And the whole town has green recycling with, blue recycling with green covers, but the new ones are gonna be blue.
Just out of curiosity, I thought it was, the police station's the only one that has
Yes.
multiples, but I thought it was the other way around. I thought the green was the trash, and the
We
other
only
color-
have recycling carts.
Right.
No,
Our trash goes out and whatever we.
Not
put
the
in.
police station. The police station, what they did to get, creative, was they took, there's two different color lids. And it kind of threw us off the first couple weeks of collection because one guy was leaving one behind, the other one was, so I ended up bringing them black carts for trash. But there was two different color lids, and that's how they justified it. They said, yeah, well, the ones with this color are this, but I can't remember which ones they were. But you're
They're
saying that
using
black.
their recycling carts, they're using one of them for
Trash,
garbage.
and then the other
yeah,
one's for
well, how did they get those
MSW.
different colored lids? Was that
They
like
got
something you
them.
guys?
So-
Because when we have a cart that came in that needed repair, let's say one had a damaged lid,
Oh, all right.
Public Works would order a new lid.
And then they
Different
got
color,
it.
and so
And
they
put
picked
it
up
on.
on that, and they said, well, let's make ours, and we'll tell the collection guy that these, I got you, okay, all
But
right.
you'll see the carts outside here, the typical.
They're green, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Right.
so they're-
No, ours
That's the
are
only thing that threw me
blue
off,
with a
like-
green lid.
Green, blue
Right,
and green, yeah.
blue with the green
Aqua.
lid. So I think that making that distinction between
That's
people
fine.
that are not gonna understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think for the first time, you're gonna have
How
it
do you
confused.
say, the carts that aren't black?
In all
They're
sincerity,
bluish.
what it's gonna be is it's gonna be the Jensen's Trailer Park. They don't know anything about anything because they never had a cart,
That's
period.
right.
And Country
And Country
Meadows.
Meadows are the only ones that are getting the new carts, but with the blue and blue. But down the road, if they start buying additional ones, you're right, they'll be blue and blue.
Every
Well,
new
there's some up in,
program,
there's some up in back Sherwood Drive that they don't have their new ones yet, right?
every new program
Yeah,
will
we
have its
delivered them all.
bumps.
Everybody
So why
has
don't we do the blue
And we even
trash
took-
and
we
a
even
picture of
took-
ours?
Why don't you just put bluish?
Blue
I'll do
base.
whatever you guys tell me to do.
John has,
I'm easy.
We even took excess barrels out of there.
John has a point he wants to make about the
Yeah,
barrels.
there's just a couple things. In the paragraph, it says that everybody will be issued carts, or what does it say? It says residents will be issued 96-gallon wheel carts. If you can put town-owned, so that they know
Yeah,
that they're...
that was my next thing I was gonna bring up.
So that
Needs-
whenever we refer to the carts, always put
Town-owned.
town-owned
Unless they
Well,
buy them.
in
But
here.
not
No,
the,
not
Including
the-
mine,
not
you
the
mean?
MSW.
yeah, because he has,
We don't
the
own those.
MSW is yours,
He
right?
owns them.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so, yeah, well, then you would
We're
put,
running.
then you would
Unless you wanna
put
buy 'em.
your own.
Well, just refer to them as
Cha-ching,
Canard
cha-ching.
carts or town carts.
Bernard-owned carts or something, so they don't.
And the blue
just
carts
help you out.
belong to the
The other
town.
thing that
Many of you
And
already have
quite
your
honestly,
blue
let me
recycling card.
let me reiterate myself.
I
Personally, as
misunderstood.
long as me and the town have an agreement that we know that the black carts are mine, I have no problem calling them town-owned carts at all.
Oh, no,
If you guys think that that's a good thing,
They need to know they're not
simplify
theirs.
it, then that's fine.
Town-owned / controlled
So if
carts.
I could finish, please? The other thing was,
He's getting much bolder in his second.
well,
Let's unfinish.
Let 'em finish.
if I could interrupt your interruption, please. The other thing I thought of, and these are just ideas, take them or leave them, is that bumper stickers cheap, trash on, one barrel, and on the other one just put recycle. but that's all up to you, because you're the one who's gonna get the phone calls and have to deal with it.
Black is
And I think the
garbage.
Yeah.
best thing to do is to
Bumper
leave it up
stickers
to
are
you.
horrible because they fade out immediately.
Yep.
Within a very short period of time. And they make the cart look ugly, and that's one of the reasons why we don't like them to mark them up, because it takes a real pristine looking scenario when you go through your neighborhood. Seriously, it's
Yeah,
impressive when you see it. And it dumbs it down just a little bit. You can't stop it, but you
I
can try
know.
to limit it some.
Do you say
So-
dump it down?
Dumb it
Oh,
down.
Dumb it down.
I'd say, boy, that's.
So that's some of the things, but we really, you don't see this issue, even in the towns like Hooksett, where I thought they made a mistake going with different color lids with the same color body. They didn't have a problem. I thought it was just too much to have a blue cart with a yellow lid versus a blue cart with a black lid, and that's the distinction between the two, because at night, when you get your 8-year-old kid going out to throw the bag in the barrel, well, hey, I could understand the kid mixing it up,
Yeah.
Okay,
but
makes sense.
black and blue,
Pretty obvious.
people get used to it pretty quick, and it looks good, and it sticks out pretty good.
Okay.
So, but again, I'm just giving you my experience, but.
Very valuable experience.
So I got 3 things here that I'd like to just, you guys do the voting thing on some things, but you don't on others, so I just want, there's 3 things I want to make sure of. One, we just talked about it, is the verbiage on town-owned, Bernard-owned, resident-owned. Would you like me, as a collective whole, to word it as town-owned? I have no problem doing that, because it will keep it simpler.
As long as it's very clear the resident knows what they own.
Whatever verbiage.
Okay, so is
We
this
can
consent, is
do a
this?
little amendment to the contract, because who knows if we'll be
Yeah.
here in 4 years.
Yeah, just need
We'll
something
amend the
that
contract.
basically shows that I own it.
Yep.
Second.
Yep. Second thing would be I think it was Ashley that brought up the bolding thing. How do you want me to word it so that people don't feel like
I'm
we're
okay
being
with-
condescending?
I'm okay with the bold, like, the bullets, but not when you're talking to them, almost like yelling or, condescending, repeating. So I'm okay with, like, the bold here, the highlights, blue single stream recycling carts. I'm talking about basically the caps. And this one up here, do not mark or modify the carts. Like,
All right, so this one here, like I said, I think it's very important in terms of getting that bulletproofed. And if there's a way to say it that doesn't make them feel like we're being condescending, that's fine, but it's the number one problem that we have with converting from manual collection to automated collection is not accentuating the importance that it must be in the bin. And so.
but if there wasn't all
If
this
we-
excess,
Well, it's gonna be taken down to 1 page,
Yeah.
especially with the purple bag thing gone now. And
If
if
it
you
were
guys
a-
wanna add more stuff later on after we get the program up and running, we can always redesign this thing to anything you want, add stuff in, make it more complicated if you think it would be good as people get used to it, but for this here, I can get rid of the repetitiveness, and make it more simplistic to the eye.
If it were in a different color, capitals.
It's in blue.
I know, but above it, where you have capital, new automated trash and recycling program. These guidelines must be followed for collection of your material.
The one that's in red?
all the caps got.
All the caps is what she's talking about.
I see that
Collection
some,
Oh, I see
days
what
have
you're saying, yeah,
changed.
why did you, yeah, I agree with that,
I
that's,
see some of the caps as necessary.
So
Collection
if-
you're right,
days
we don't
have
need that
changed.
new automated trash. and
Important
recycling.
information to get across.
Title
I
or
do
headline?
too, so what if we put them in a different color, and then you're making them bold, and it doesn't seem like you're yelling at them?
Yeah, she went overboard on that one, I just noticed what you're talking about, I was talking about the
Program?
red up top, where it says, our new automated trash, and it's like, what, that doesn't even have to be like that, it could just be a sentence,
But-
because it's not something that we need to
It's not
accentuate.
something we need to get across.
It's like
It's already done up top there in red.
bold and cap lock fatigue. So you want people to see it, but half of it is caps and.
Yeah, it
So
takes
it's
away
just-
from the ones that you really want them
Right,
to see
so
if they
just-
don't, yeah,
I
gotcha,
think we
yeah.
should minimize that.
Yeah, let me,
Use use it for the
so I'm
important
gonna
things.
change this over to be regular font. Okay, and Now, what about this, the top part there, brand-new curbside trash and recycling program? Is that to your liking in red?
Minus exclamation points.
Yeah, if you take the exclamation out of there, that would be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how she looks at it, is, we're so proud that we're doing this, exclamation point, but it doesn't come out that way sometimes.
Do we want brand new or do we want revised?
Or maybe just put finally.
Well, we've had both programs previously.
Yeah, I think
Fully
brand
automated.
is.
I'd just say
Why
revised.
don't you just put
New,
new?
fully automated.
Revised, we've had them,
curbside.
so just say revised, it's the latest iteration.
You want me to-
That is revised, you're right. It's
In
not
a
new.
few years, he's gonna have robots doing it, we'll get a new iteration with that.
I'm for revised.
Revised isn't pleasant.
Can we have a show of hands on revised versus?
I like finally,
Revised
seriously.
automated curbside trash
could
and
put another
recycling
name.
program.
I do like
Right, because we
final.
said at
Gotta be
the,
final.
what I have been telling people,
It's
that
gonna be automated.
daily, it's automated.
Right,
So
so
automated.
revised automated curbside trash and recycling program.
Is this consensual?
I don't like revised.
I don't care. That's,
Revised, it
yeah,
just isn't
that's,
pleasant. It's
that's,
No, we've had it and we're making it
that's
better.
minor to me. Whatever.
Why
Well, you
do
say-
have
New,
technical?
if you.
New and
I kinda like
it's not new
John.
curbside, we've always had it curbside.
Peter, what's your opinion?
I
Revised?
could care less.
Ashley?
Or not revised.
New.
I think this
New
is.
automated.
I think this is absolutely ridiculous. Let Tony take care of this. He's gonna get the phone calls. Let's be done with it and move on.
And with that,
Well,
that's only two of us.
She'll just run it by me. but-
I said
Might be
that,
three.
I said
That's
that
what
when
Peter's saying, that's
John
three.
said that.
Is that a decision?
Half hour ago,
Let's do
John?
that.
I know, but remember how long it took us just to do a little post?
Wait a minute, why can't we just leave it in Tony's hands and do it? Why do we have to nitpick it apart?
Yeah, we know what you want, we know what you
No,
want.
no, we're just talking about the language of this.
Yes, and
Not
he
the
knows
program.
that.
Now that we've got the bag and the
But
program and all
here's
that
the-
done.
Here's the
Couple
question I
things.
want to bring up again, or the point I want to bring up again. I brought it up last week when this came up, and I'm still there. I haven't changed my mind. We have people all over town that have more than one, at a single-family home, more than one recyclable container. We're going to leave those with them, and we're going to force those, which they've got at no additional cost. but
I
we're going to
have those on a list to remove. So that's what I did. I went around to find out who had, because this was supposed to tell them, you're only allowed one, and I was gonna talk to them, say, hey, one per dwelling. It's-
Okay, well, I know there's people out there that still have two, and I was told last week that they were gonna get to keep their two.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had it listed to like.
That's what
Well,
was said.
What I know is like, I certainly wasn't gonna go around and take them away from people. Been there, done that. Been
Okay,
there, done that.
so my point is,
I'll do whatever you want, but that's what I usually do.
my point is, you have these people that have more than one recyclable container at no cost to themselves, but we're going to make people who now want a second recycling container to purchase them for $75. It's not
No,
equitable.
150.
So $75 in here, doesn't
Well,
it?
that was my question, because it wasn't
$75.
clear if
That's
you wanted to
I give you my
allow people
wholesale
to.
cost.
You may
Normally I do
purchase an additional
75 for
card for a
65.
one-time fee of $75 by calling Bernard Waste System. So
I wanted to
regardless.
make it palatable to the town, the lower the
I
cost,
like
the
the
more
price,
palatable, so.
I like the price, but I think it's unfair.
But
that
he owns them.
I know what
We're
you're
gonna pay
saying.
$75 for them, and he's gonna own them?
No.
That's
The,
needs to be clear.
I'm going to sell them directly to your residents that want them. I'm gonna deliver them, charge them $75, they own them, they'll go on the inventory list, that serial number belongs to them. There was like 14, just so you'll know, I've got the list, I can show it to you. There was only like 14 properties, most of them were multifamilies, and almost all of them weren't using them all, okay? That had extra bins. So I put them on a list to go and talk to, bring them down, offer them the new program if they did ever need more. It was a very small percentage, so, but I was doing it from the standpoint of, again, what I normally do, which is to make everybody equal. If you're a one family, you get one. If you're a two, you get two. A three, you get three. A four, you get four. Fives on up, get one. Businesses get one. And show them the new ordinance and say, hey, look, but if you need one, $75, you own it, it's yours. And
How many, and you've been around, how many places have extra bins?
That's what you said, about 14.
14.
You said that, 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about the number of
Yeah.
places that have extra bins.
There was, yeah, if there was a few I missed, it's not a lot because I did the whole
So I don't
town.
think it's really gonna be a problem.
Your highest
Didn't use it.
population is single-family homes, and of them, there was only a couple that I saw, and that they weren't using them.
For the record, I have 3, and I'm a 2-family home.
It comes out.
And I said it last
I
week.
know, and
You might be one of them, so, yeah.
Yep.
You have to-
And I use all 3 are right to the max every single week because now that I've been taught recycling, I use recycling. So I would be one that would pay the $75 to get a new one.
But that's the other thing, ultimately, we want people to recycle.
That's
don't
exactly
we?
right. We do. And I would.
But here's the other statistic that I gotta tell you that I see out there is, my guys had to make me a list, okay, over a long period of time, because I don't count winter months because they're low production months, okay? Your high production months are June, July, and August. That's when recycling and trash go through the roof. If you look at your numbers, you'll see that. So I asked them to come all the way from January through to now and report to me any recyclers, okay, that were having a hard time getting away with 1 barrel, or if there were 2 family, 2, and so on and so forth. And they have only come back, other than isolated instances where people had like a bunch of boxes, they obviously bought some stuff or something like that, but they reported them to me also, but they weren't repetitive. Repetitive, every week they have a problem, and there was only 3 that they gave to me that were constant problems, okay? And out of those 3, the next question I ask them is if they broke down their boxes, would they still have a problem? And the answer for all 3 of them was
No. See, I break down my boxes and
Yeah.
I still fill them. And some weeks I use my neighbor who doesn't use his.
Right.
So
which
I
is
would
what we
need it.
recommend to people when we talk to them on the phone, before we even tell them that they may want to buy an additional blue. We say, hey, look, if this isn't an every week problem, do you have a neighbor that, maybe only fills it up halfway, you could,
Right.
and we try to promote that community, spirit you were talking about earlier, but, but again, that to me is what the norm is, but again, I want this program to be successful, I want you guys to be comfortable that what's gonna happen is going to be
Right.
a positive thing.
So I think if you're saying that there's only 14 out there that have more than 1, it's negligible.
Well, I don't think it's negligible, I think it's the way we
I-
treat people,
you
and
let me
it should be
finish.
the same.
They're not
Well, I want to move on.
I think she's agreeing with you.
No, she's not, but
I am agreeing with
She's agreeing with you,
you.
there's only 14.
And I
then-
think that
then-
you should give up one of your bins, and I think that all those 14 people should give up one of their bins.
I said I'm more than willing to give up my bin
Everybody
and
pays.
pay the $75. I already said that.
That's what I heard, yeah.
But I think the town should pay the $75 if people want the extra bin. We're the ones that want them to recycle. That's what I think.
Okay, well, we'll have to budget for that next
And
year.
I'll go on record as saying that.
I'll tell you what,
This bin
let
is on
me offer you
Lakewood
one more
Drive.
thing, I did offer this.
It's just one bin hanging out behind their dumpster. Remember I emailed you that?
What's the address?
This is the first time I've seen it, Catherine.
Well, I haven't showed you the picture, but I emailed you that
Yeah, and
there's a dumpster
I
at
think I know
Lakewood,
who that is.
but there's one
She called me,
recycling bin.
called me 2 days ago.
Is it-
Yeah.
There was someone that lives down in
There's the number.
Lakewood.
Lakewood, and they brought it in from somewhere, or they got it somehow when their program first started. She talked to me the other day, and I said, you're all gonna get bins, okay? You guys have to decide where to put the bins.
Are you talking about Lakewood? You called them?
They called me.
Oh, and they're
Or
gonna
you
get them?
guys.
They didn't call
Someone
me?
from the town referred to me, yeah.
Lakewood's not-
Yeah.
No,
Let me just make
that's-
sure that Lakewood is the one where the fire was, that has the L-shaped thing
Yeah.
going down, and they've got a
Private
Casella
road.
dumpster in
Yeah,
there that
yeah,
they had
private
been.
road.
Yeah, well, but they signed the
the
waiver.
fire
They have the
was-
waiver. Remember, they were offered the choice.
Oh, yes, yes,
They've
yes.
been offered the
Okay,
choice.
I know.
And I never heard from them.
Fire was
Yeah,
on
she- this
She
is-
did call you.
The resident called me because, and I told her, I said, listen, I've talked to the president of your association a long time ago. I explained to her that as long as the waiver's signed, once we get to automated recycling,
I didn't know if you wanted to
trash,
Oh,
that
yes.
I will take care of it, but I can't go to A Street, B Street, C Street, because my truck can't get in there, so you'll have to
Right,
find a
but they haven't
community
gotten
area.
back to you.
And, yeah, she said she was gonna,
The president of the
oh, the president
association.
hasn't called me yet, no.
Pat
no.
Lynn.
This was just 2 days ago, though, so, or Friday.
Nice lady. All right, is there anything else substantial that we want to change? The number of the bins, color of the bins, anything like that? Or are we good for them to go forward
Yep.
and create a new document?
Yep. I am. Now that
Anybody?
he's got our concerns, yeah.
Create and distribute it?
No, let's create it, we'll look at it next week.
Oh,
Running
wait
out
a
of
minute,
time.
they're running
We're
out of time.
He's
Okay.
gotta start delivering them.
You guys want to create a document?
Let's just go
and
with
Is
it.
there any way that Joyce could email you guys the final?
Try a couple
or-
of years for this.
And,
Let's
do
go
it
around.
right.
Peter, what do you want? You want to look at the brochure again and have another vote, or just go forward?
What he wants.
Ashley? Pat?
I say go, we're gonna have bumps no matter where we go. Let's just go with what Tony does, and we'll answer the questions as we come. We've gotta roll this out.
Yeah, I think just go, I'd like to see the bins
Email
out there
it the day you do
forthwith.
it. I'll look at it.
Joyce
Email
wants
it out to
know if
us
you
and
guys
roll
can
it out.
still,
Roll it out, we'll fix the bumps later.
Okay, so Joyce is gonna have it.
Joyce has a question.
It's unclear, that was one of my last things, is the town gonna pay for, I mean, we're gonna be buying some bins through Tony anyway every year, because we're gonna have new residents, you know, they're gonna disappear, we're always gonna have some down at the thing, or the break, or whatever. So, we're gonna have to absorb that cost in our budget. With people wanting extra recycling bins, is the town going to pay for them, or is the resident going to pay for them?
It's up to the board.
It's up to the board. That's what I need to know, because that
Peter?
information has to go in here.
Town pay, they pay.
We
When
want
are you gonna
to,
start selling them? We didn't appropriate
Yeah, I-
anything for this year, so I
We're
would
not
say.
selling them.
I
It's
have
Tony.
them already.
Yeah, but if we're
I would say that the town, you're gonna give them to us at cost, right? I would
Yes,
say
but
the
you
town,
guys-
because we really want to encourage recycling, we
That's-
really
that's-
do.
What is the what is,
$75 a bin.
that's at cost?
Can I jump in for 1 second? Sure. This is
One second.
something that a lot of people
Too
don't
late.
catch. As soon as you put it in your program, that anybody in town, I just went through this with Manchester, is entitled to as many bins as they need, okay?
So,
You have
yeah.
no control over your budget, because the people that don't want to break down boxes will say, I don't want to work at that, get me another bin.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem right now. You have a very small overflow thing. I would even be willing to scratch the whole extra bin program and let me deal with people who have a problem based on what I see at the
One-on-one.
curb for free, because I know it's only going to be 20, but the
Then why don't
policy
we-
is one bin per household.
Let's do that. And why don't we address who's going to pay for the bin when it comes up later?
Now, the other thing about
Where's it
buying
come from?
bins, okay, is, that doesn't matter. Through me, when you buy bins, they have a minimum order you have to buy from these manufacturers. They come from, some come from California, some come from Erie, Pennsylvania, some come from down in Philadelphia. So the shipping is a huge part of it. So if you buy 100 bins, you pay more in shipping than you paid for the bins almost to get them up here.
Right.
So that's why my buying power is so important. I buy thousands of bins a year, and to add on another couple hundred, I just divvy it all out, divide it all by the freight, and you get a per bin freight rather than buying a freight load. So, but if regardless of whether I do that for you and you give them to the people, or I sell them to the people, we're still getting the same cost, which is about $75 when it's all, when you figure it all out, for transportation, the card itself, and delivery to the house. That's the part people miss on. It's like $10 to do mass deliveries. But again, we don't see it. In Bow, we sell, which is 2,500. I looked at that number before I came up here. We sell about 42 a year average since we started the program down there. And those people are, Bows are really, every house is 5,000 square feet just about. So, I mean, they have big families and, whatever. So that's kind of a little skewed, but the point is even they don't buy a lot of them. They get away with the one that.
I'm
So-
okay with you just.
Yeah, so if you let us know who needs extra bins, we'll work it out. Yeah.
This discussion can come up again. We'll
I
see
can,
how it goes.
and what I can do is alter the program to say, anyone who's having any issues with, recycling volumes, please contact Bernard, and we'll see what we can do to help you resolve some of these issues. And some towns call it a hardship clause, just like the small bins that you guys haven't talked about yet. I want to bring that up because it's important. It's the last thing I have on my mental notes here. But just like we do hardships for people that are handicapped and elderly, a 95-gallon bin, a lot of people can't hoist
Yes, that's
it.
true.
So we offer them, it's a small percentage of the population. I looked that one up too. It's 25,000 carts in Manchester, 200 of them are 35 gallon. So just look at the percentage there, it's enormously low. So we just take care of it and deal with the people as they call up. I can't move this thing. All right, how about a smaller one? And we take care of it. It's very small.
Tony, we chose the right company.
One last thing. It was too confusing to have every other week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, A, B, whatever. Is there any way we can simplify this?
Yeah, we're going to change the verbiage on the front one to accentuate. I did bring these calendars to show you what we add as a supplement to some of our towns. This one here is it's not the same content as what you guys are doing. It's a subscription town calendar that we send out. It's a miniaturized version that people can put up on their refrigerators. But it's the same concept, basically. It gives you the tidbits that you said we could eliminate there, tell you what can and what can't go. It also gives you the calendar for this particular year, which shows you which week is non-paper and which week is paper, or which week is A and which week is B, red and black. And we changed this up for you guys to match your program. So they've got a smaller version so that once they know, hey, I'm on this street, I'm Monday, week B.
Look for the red.
They can look for the red. They can have this on their
Okay.
So they don't have to have an A,
Well,
just
also-
look for the red.
The
Yeah.
consensus of the board is we're going to trust the two of you to make this usable,
Okay.
non-confusable.
All right. I like it. So I'll add in. I'm going to ask them to add in a little blurb about, or should I, about the trash barrels. If the trash barrels are too big for some residents, please contact us and we'll work with you to. Would you like something like that in there to let them know on the black?
I think that would be helpful to the handicapped and disabled and elderly.
And seniors, yeah.
Yeah, and I can even word it that way, for seniors and disabled or handicapped. We'll work with you on sizes.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, some people have temporary disabilities too, so you're going to have to.
Most of those people, they catch me at the curb as I'm delivering them. That's like way too
Or
big.
they'll
All
call
right,
here.
small.
We've got a list here of people that,
So, that's excellent.
to add to your list. And like this one, Jensen, they don't have one yet, but they want the smallest.
Selectmen, any more questions on the trash?
So Jensen's
I have a
for
question.
trash, these people want small trash?
No, this one wants a small one.
Let's work on the
Oh,
data.
okay.
These people have called you, Gail, and
Good information, even if it's not.
this is all requests for recycling bins.
Oh, yeah, Jensen's, they don't have any yet. We're delivering those next week. So.
The engineers.
Wants the small. I get you.
Stay with me one moment.
With you.
John has some questions. Oh,
The other question is, would there be a possibility for, okay, we're getting these beautiful trash bins. Many of us have old trash cans, and there's no way to get rid of them. The
The tops are cracked.
never-ending thing is, how do you throw out a trash
Trash
can?
can, yeah.
Could we have some type of setup that we could just get rid of everybody's old ones? Because I don't know what to
Just-
do
what if
with
we
it.
set something up at Public Works?
How about if you can't put it in your car?
Spring and fall cleanups.
Oh,
Here's what I can do, and this is what we've done in many a towns. With the rollout, okay, we, on the insert, the part that says, your new day is this, okay, and your new week is this, and your first day of using this bin is this, okay, we put, if you'd like to get rid of your old trash cans, okay, put them out at the curb, empty, okay, let us know and we will take them on the last day of collection. So I got a rear load truck, I put 2 guys on the back instead of 1, okay, for the last week, okay, of doing the old style collection. And what they will do is they will, if they're told to, they will toss them in with the trash and all, gone. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, there's no recycling value to that type of trash can, unfortunately. The type that we're distributing has high recycling value. We get $700 a ton right now for when we get rid of those automated ones because they're the right kind of plastic, okay? So the number one question I get, well, can't we recycle them? Well, nobody wants them, okay? They're number 6s and number 7s, and there's just no market for them. So that's number one. We can either word it, please put a note on the card to take this, or I'd rather not have them calling us because then we get potential 1,500 people that might call us, and then we have to, jot them all down. So I'd rather say, please put a note on your trash can. And then what I can do is the people that got missed out on that'll take care of the majority of your population, okay? We'll start getting calls in the future weeks of people that missed it. They were on vacation, they didn't see it. What can I do with my old trash can? Those we might be able to push down to the highway if they have the ability to transport them. Or I might be able to set up a separate special run in the future where we do it on a Saturday or something, and I send a truck up here on a Saturday and we just get to those people, which we will jot down by hand. And that's typically how we deal, because you're right, you will get the calls, that's for sure.
That's a good idea.
Okay, this is the last question, because I wanted to have this in the brochure, the price of the bags. Because right now it says $1, and it's the small ones, you get 10 for $1, and the others it's 5 for $1.50.
That's the price we've charged, right? And I would personally leave it the same.
Yeah.
And then I
Anybody
want,
have an
You still
opinion?
make money, right?
and
Still
it'll be,
breaks.
you can buy them at the town hall.
Oh, this is because they're delivering them to you. I mean, like most
Sitting
towns,
down at Public Works.
when we do, like most of the towns I'm in that do pay-as-you-throw, they're like $1.50 to $2.50 per bag for, a 32-gallon bag. So you're saying 5 for $1.50?
No,
No,
it's
$1.50
the
bag.
bag.
Oh, per bag, okay.
It's sleeves of 5.
So you gotta go broke
And
on that
then
one.
the smaller bags, you get sleeves of 10 for
Per
$1.
bag, so it's 10 for $10 and 5 for
So are we gonna do the trash barrel pickup, old one? Is that yes?
I thought that was automatic.
No one's ever refused me on that one. but
Okay,
if
I
you wanna
didn't-
vote,
Now
we
we're
I
can-
didn't hear
refusing.
anybody say okay.
Nobody said no.
So
Yes,
what do
please.
you do? You just put it at the end of the street?
What we're gonna do is I'm going to instruct them in this front page thing. It's just a blank piece of paper that is the first thing they see before they go to the program, which says, this is your new trash cart, okay? First day of collection for this will be whatever their day is and the date, the actual date that we're gonna start. Your recycling week is still every other week, but yours will be first day of collection this date. And that way they know what date it is and they have the calendar. But the third thing I'll put down is if you need to get rid of your old trash barrels, okay, please put a note on it. The last day of collection, which will be this day, during this week, okay? And we will take any barrels away that have asked us to take them with a note. So. And then they put little envelopes and stuff on them. So.
Are we good?
And I highly recommend that if you guys have a public forum that is going to reach more people, that that you maybe play that up a little bit. Yep, you'll know once I get this last one out, we'll also have a firm date of collection for when we start this. Okay. So you'll know that the previous week,
We can do one of our alerts.
yeah, and that would be,
Alert.
that would really get anything that
your
can get the
old
word
trash
out
cans.
more about the trash barrels will really, you'll make it a tough week. And that doesn't even make us a tough week, really, because we're already taking the stuff in them. To have the barrels too, we may have to make an extra trip to the dump, and that's about it. So that would be great. Get
One
there.
other technical question. What's the average shelf life of those purple bags? When should we You know, we've been storing these for almost a year.
I took the bags myself.
You check them?
They're wrapped in a bag. Shelf life forever.
Okay, good. Because I know some
In the
things get
conditions that
brittle.
you have them in.
Okay, good.
You have them in a storage box. They're well protected. There's no excess moisture or heat getting in there. They're in good shape.
Okay, good.
They're not great bags, though. I got to tell you that. But don't take that as a. I'm just saying that there very rarely is a good bag out there for Patients Road.
Yeah.
They always, because they're doing high volume, they want to try to keep the cost down, and people want to stuff them as hard as they can. So you can't afford a Glad bag, which is the best bag ever made, because it would bankrupt the program. It would make you have to charge more. So they end up with a mid-quality bag usually,
Yeah.
and people try to stuff them because they want to get their money's worth. It tends to make them break, yeah, so.
Thank you, Tony.
I think we're set.
Tomorrow morning, I've got a meeting at 9 with the woman. As soon as I finish that up.
Can I just have a copy of your little brochure you just had on the purple bag? The 10 for
pay it?
$1.
You can have that.
And it is unlimited, correct?
Public Works.
The Public Works, yeah, okay.
Not a quick.
All right.
Everybody good?
And if you, I'll
Going
send you
once?
mine.
Twice? Nice. Thank you.
Hey, ma'am, you ready to go? Give it to me. I'll send it to the board. I'll call them. Say, open your email.
I'm good with
Start on Monday?
cartwheels
Can she have it by
when
Monday?
they show up.
It's a
The
4 day
one
start.
thing that people
That's
stop
why,
and talk to me
it's like
about.
4 days.
4 days?
From the time she gets the proof, it takes, yeah, these
Biggest
printers doing this type of a
conversation.
brochure, they're like 4 days out. I asked her if she could pull a favor for us and whatnot, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna be,
Well, we don't have to go color.
hmm?
We don't have to go, we're gonna have it ultimately, what, 2 pages?
I want one page.
You're gonna have at least 3 pages
You
because
still have to have the street index in
the back, the fourth and third page are necessary.
Yeah.
The first and second page is what you're reducing to one
The
page.
one, yeah, so you can probably be a 3 day,
So
three,
I don't know how you're gonna reduce this or this.
yeah, because you can't
But
get
this
the,
and this can be reduced.
and I'm gonna ask her if she can
Okay.
maybe, if she is willing to, which I don't think she'll have a problem, to deep six the visual, which
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of anyways,
Yeah.
the funnel. It was a
Yeah.
really popular one, but
Yeah.
I don't think you get a lot of value out of it. And change it down to more like these cards, which, again, this is not your program. But you can see those, the blue and the red and black section is the condensed version of that funnel. Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that better.
So that
That's better.
that might be able to get us down to a 3-page brochure. Again, you guys look at it, there's a 3-day lag for the printer once he gets it. So to spend another couple of hours, talking about it is not going to hurt us. So.
This doesn't,
And, as long as it's not in this setting.
Yeah, I don't need a couple of
I don't see where this excludes market bags, shopping bags.
That might be a different version.
Are you taking them?
Should say, no plastic bags.
Well, it says no plastic coated papers, no paper plates, no wax, no tissue, no plastics.
You're looking at the paper side of it. Look at the bottles and can side of it. No, the top one. One's
I did.
the red is.
I looked at non-paper
Can I see some?
recyclables.
I'm
And
looking.
paper recyclables is confusing because it excludes plastics completely.
Yeah, because you can't put plastic in with paper. Remember, this is a different program. One week we
Okay.
pick up paper, the next week we pick up bottles and cans on this
Well, that's
program.
right, this program.
Right,
But I'm still not seeing where it says no shopping bags.
not bagged, please. Recyclable, loose, not bagged, and rigid recycling bin under preparation. And again, she's going to use this format that's on the one you see in this size.
Yeah.
In other words, so what you're looking at is a small version of what we're gonna have. But
So
look
you're
where
gonna make
see
sure
where
it
it says
says-
preparation?
Yep, you're gonna make sure you put in here, like, if I go to the market basket and I come back with those bags,
No bags, right, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna say.
Yeah, this is the new verbiage right here that the recycling centers have asked us to use, which is everywhere, no
Plastic bags.
bags.
Thank you.
So,
'Cause my
it'll still be
household-
that verbiage, it'll just be
My
this
household
format.
is the hardest,
You
okay.
can keep that if you want.
No, I'm good. Stick or choosing,
Didn't you?
not our program.
So,
All right, so we're good.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in and
Hey,
taking this time.
Guys are quite welcome, and I'm
What are you
looking so
doing?
excited, you know, getting to, I was delivering today, that's why I look like this, but
and you wanted,
Manchester.
she said, can I come in later? I gotta go get cleaned up. I said, no, just get in here. I don't
Thank you,
care what you
Joyce.
look like.
All right, guys, have a good night.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Take care. Thanks
Bye,
again,
tomorrow.
Tony.
Thank you very much.
Joyce, and thank you for all your hard work on this and putting up with us. All right, Joyce, you're on.
Madam Chair, can we vote the fireworks in front of the town administrator?
Okay, fireworks ordinance.
Please, I'm not feeling well and I don't know how
Oh,
much longer
okay.
I'm gonna
I don't
last.
care. It's hot in here. I feel like I'm gonna pass
The
out.
heat's really affecting me.
Yeah, I turned off the air conditioners to get rid of the paint fumes because they weren't sucking them out. Does everybody have a copy of the fireworks ordinance? All right, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the fireworks ordinance as written.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, or no, wait a minute. See, usually you make a motion to put it on the table for discussion, so discussion, I'm tired. Motion's on the table. We'll know we're about to put it there.
Just the discussion, I think we were gonna have, I can't remember what the PD said about it and that, what were their thoughts? They
He was
reviewed
all
this,
Jesse reviewed it,
and the
yeah.
fire chief is,
Fire chief reviewed it.
They're good with it.
Yep. And,
And it'll be at the top of their list along with parking when it comes to enforcement.
oh no, it won't. Trust me. On that.
Okay, we're gonna disagree, but
But we will not disagree on that one.
Well, the point is,
I
though,
will prove you
right
wrong
now,
on
they
that.
don't have anything.
no, I mean on the vote.
They don't have anything to enforce if they choose to enforce. So having this will give them something to enforce if they choose to.
Yes.
All right, any more discussion on this?
What are we in the business of creating as many new fees as possible? And penalties?
Well, they'll create the penalty if they violate the
They
ordinance.
violate.
I guess I'm more like the
There's not a
general.
fee if they don't
Free or
violate.
die.
I think there's a fee for the permit.
So I don't
That's
want
fair.
an ordinance.
That's another discussion.
Right.
They cannot say that there are no fireworks unless you have an ordinance. There's nothing that allows the police to have a little tiny piece of property like Dari's office and people setting off fireworks, which is what's happening right now in the village district on Cedar Street and right next to Buffalo Park. We can't call the police and say, hey, come and stop them, because there's nothing that in our town ordinances to allow them to say, stop.
I think safety.
Telling you, this is what we've been told over the years. There's nothing for them that allows them to say it. I've been here 9 years, I've heard that for 9 years. They will not
So do
come and
we have
say
a
it.
problem with people lighting fireworks off in their home?
Oh.
I've never heard that that's. a
Ask
problem.
Gail.
We have a problem with people lighting them off too close to other people's homes.
Home in the village district. Not something like a Chuck Brew, or not something that has a big
Let's not
field.
name names.
Oh, excuse me, not naming names.
No, I
But
know.
a big field, we're talking about somebody that has a 50 square foot of land with pine trees all around, and the fireworks are landing on your neighbor's roofs. That's
Well,
what I'm
that's-
talking about.
I don't think we need an ordinance to say that.
We do, the fire department will consider it an open fire, but they don't have the law behind them except say stop. And then they leave and they start it back up again, and then they've got to come back out again to do it. and they see the fire truck coming, they stop. And that's what's been happening. There's a lot of different issues around that. And last week when I said, you know, it's getting late and I know we're all tired, let's take it up next week, there were 3 rounds of fireworks in the neighborhood last week. What's that?
Last night, too.
Last night? I know, that was the 3rd.
Peter, you
But
have
it was
something?
past the noise,
It was past the noise ordinance,
Well,
it was, oh yeah, it was,
something we can call on.
But even during the middle of the day, if somebody's lighting off fireworks and somebody's neighboring house is less than 20 feet away, and you've got fireworks landing on people's roofs, it's dry, you know.
But
I
then they
wouldn't
would
want
be
anybody, I
responsible.
wouldn't want my neighbor lighting off fireworks and letting them land in my field because it would go up in flames.
I have a
I wouldn't
150-year-old
want
house.
anybody lighting them off and having them go off in my woods. It would go up in flames. If they landed on my barn, that'd be into that. So this ordinance protects abutting property owners. It doesn't disallow somebody from, you know, going to a safe place and lighting off fireworks.
As long as
And
they own it.
And the purpose is
Or
for the
has the
police to
owner's
go
permission.
and say, I have an ordinance that says you can't do what you're doing, so please stop and don't do it again. It's the same people doing it over and over and over again. So now they have an ordinance that says, you can't do this, or you will be fined. The first time, they're not. They say, we've got an ordinance, and they're educated on the ordinance. And then they say, no, you can't do this. And most of the time, that's effective.
Yeah, that's fine, I don't agree with the permits. If it were
permit
to
is
only be
for-
that, then I
I
might,
believe, isn't the permit section for large displays?
Right, right.
Not-
Small display.
Other
I thought it
than,
was for any display.
Yeah, it's for any,
is it for any?
I thought-
I apologize.
You have to give a list of everything you're gonna use too.
I don't think I have, I don't have mine in front of me.
And then
I
are
think
we-
it's
What's
at
the
home.
penalty if I didn't include everything, or I don't
Is
have
it
what I said I
required
had?
here?
it's too much. And also, are we going to give the police training as to what is safe and who they should be giving these permits to? That's a whole nother piece of it. They're just gonna decide, there's no policy
they
on.
have to go within the ordinance. So the ordinance said you cannot
So
be
every,
safe in a 20-foot by 20-foot by 20-foot
so
square.
they're gonna have to go out and measure
They're gonna
Okay.
go-
every
well,
time
they're
someone
gonna-
wants a permit. I don't agree with that. I will say, if it was something that said, you can't do it within so many feet, or can't touch your neighbor's house, then they could enforce it, but I don't agree with the permit.
Every package of fireworks that you buy has a safety on it.
This
And it
has
says
a minimum.
It has a minimum of square footage that you should be shooting it off. And every single package of fireworks that they shoot off in the village does not meet those standards.
This ordinance has a minimum of 100 feet from the property line of any structure.
Right.
Right, if it were just that,
And
then
it-
I'd be okay, because then they could
That's what it
enforce it.
says.
But it's the permit, I don't agree
The
with the
permit is for, okay, so the permit, I just read it, is for someone who wants to use other than these fireworks. So if I want to have a fireworks show, I got to get a permit.
Right.
It shall be unlawful for any person or firm to discharge or display any fireworks in town limits or to allow any such discharge of fireworks under the town limits where such fireworks are designed or used to propel any projectile flame or shower of sparks a distance of greater than 5 feet into the air.
Where are you reading so I can follow?
I'm on page 2, and where it says permits required, paragraph A. Or such fireworks are designed or used to produce a report that would be construed to meet definitions outlined in the Town of Tilton's Disorderly Actions Ordinance, unless such person or firm has obtained a permit. So if I choose to use fireworks that are projecting up in the air more than 5 feet, I have to have a permit. If I want
I
to use
understand
regular fireworks,
I just don't agree with it.
A
mean,
copy of
I
the
see-
receipt from the purchase of the fireworks must be presented with the permit application to confirm that the fireworks are in fact permissible. Then
Well-
what happens if the cop comes and he does an inspection of that receipt versus what's going off, and that's different? I don't.
I see that
Well, how are
we
you
won't
gonna
have
control?
compliance.
So you want-
I don't think they need a permit. Let's
So
wait
you think, for
to
example,
be able to enforce it.
so you think, for example, the fellow who puts off the fireworks display for the Christmas event shouldn't have a permit?
No. And I'm not just talking about that, I'm talking about anybody.
So anybody should be allowed to,
They have
Just
to
like
by,
they do now.
I
Wait a
love
minute.
fireworks.
they have to by law have a permit. The
Yeah.
people that do the
state-
Christmas.
That's where I
the
was
state
going.
requires
The state
it.
requires it.
So why are we now requiring it too?
Could I?
So
at-
it's
at
Backing the
least,
state up.
But you're giving a lot of work to the
Uninterrupted
police
2
officer.
minutes.
No, you're,
No,
you're.
And
You're
How
giving
is
them
that?
more, you're giving them the tools in which
We
they
don't need
can
a permit
stop
to do
it.
that. We don't need a permit to do that.
Yes, you
can-
do,
can
because
do
you're
an
giving,
ordinance.
the town's taxpayers are going to incur more of a cost because now the police will be policing fireworks. So if somebody's going to violate it and go out and just shoot off whatever they want,
So the police
a permit is
officers,
required. Now it's covering at least the cost for that extra trip the police have to make.
You do the
I
same with the
think-
hawkers and peddlers.
I think
You incur
all
a
you
permit.
need is an ordinance saying you can't be within 100 feet, all the rules minus the permit. If there's let people do as they will. If there's a problem, then they can enforce it.
Speak at this
Yeah.
table, or I will walk out.
No, you are next, go.
I'm
I just
very,
wanted-
I just want to say, I'm very upset at this board for having conversations and not including everybody. An equal amount of time should be given by the moderator for all parties to express their opinions, okay?
Since-
And I would like to express my opinion at least once on this,
Since-
before everybody gets 3 opinions in.
Let me comment on that. Since they had not changed to a different thought, I thought it appropriate that they complete their thought on the topic they raised of the permits before somebody else interjected in case it was a different topic. Take the floor.
Adopted by the town Tilton Board of Selectmen on May 22nd, 2008, amended January 19th of 2017, effective May 18th of 2017. Disorderly action ordinance pursuant to RSA 41:11, RSA 47:17 is hereby ordained by the Board of Selectmen in the town of Tilton as follows. Disorderly actions. A person is guilty of a disorderly action if such person creates a condition which is hazardous to such a person or another in a public place by any action that serves no legitimate purpose. If we read through this action, it also talks about doing things that would be offensive to a reasonable person, and goes on and on and on about all of those things. That's where this belongs, not in a whole new ordinance that's just confusing. And it's confusing if like Peter said, I have to hold on to receipts and stuff like that. The police department should be going up there. If they're being obnoxious and they're causing disturbance and causing hazards to public property and personal property, it should be on disorderly actions. I have nothing more to say, and I...
Don't you
Just my
think
statement.
that the disorderly actions ordinance as it pertains to fireworks would be a little bit unclear? Isn't it subjective? In other
can't
words, if
do
I'm
it.
enjoying fireworks and somebody else isn't, who's right? It's forcing the
Reasonable.
police.
It's very subjective when the police officer says, well, what's personal property? Well, what's hazardous to others? What's a public place? It's not a public place if they're doing it on their private property. It gets very, very picky under the disorderly, and they will not enforce it. We've done this, we've tried to do this over the years, many, many times.
Has anybody had a conversation with the police department as far as what would enable them to more easily enforce somebody discharging fireworks in an unsafe manner?
An ordinance, I've had that conversation many times.
What has any of the other board members? I've known.
I have.
With a police officer?
Chief, captain, sergeant, corporals.
I had the exact same problem with dumpsters being emptied at 5 o'clock in the morning or late at night, and barrels being dumped with bottles in it. They didn't go up there. For 3 years, I told them they had to go up there and enforce it. I finally went and got them to go up there and enforce it, and it stopped. They said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so I think it's an enforcement issue, and if you go through there, it talks all about obnoxious and offensive or whatever is threat to other people or
I agree.
unreasonable noise that could be.
I think we ought to talk to the people.
And
See if they'll
I think we need to have a
yes,
conversation with the
one
police
conversation,
department on the definition of this ordinance, and then specifically why, and to talk to the state, our free attorneys, why this would not fit it.
Is there like specific fees or disciplinary action on that as well, or no?
We have penalties in our disorderly action. There's no permits, but there's penalty, right?
What's the penalty?
I think the penalty, and I might be wrong, is a violation was up to $1,000 fine.
Making loud or unreasonable noise by loading, unloading, opening, closing, or otherwise handling boxes, crates, containers, building trash, dumpsters, or similar objects. It also talks about laying rubber. It talks about bell chimes hanging from your porch. And it goes on and on. Racing of your engine, acceleration of your carburetor, your gear selector. All those, should be in. And this is nothing in this paragraph should prohibit a police officer from enforcing this ordinance for any noise that is unreasonable to a person of average sensibilities. And I certainly think that everybody in the village district is, or at least the others, have average sensibilities and should not be interrupted continually by this noise, just like it's a barking dog, and that should be enforced.
Do all fireworks make noise? And I'm asking that seriously, because I don't know.
No.
No?
Well, you got sparklers, you got the snakes, the little stuff for the little kids. There's probably still considered fireworks
Oh.
because they're they lit fire as they go.
Well, would the board feel more comfortable if we had handed this to the sergeant or the captain or the chief, and then have them come in?
Town
Well,
government's
first of all,
done
let me say something.
All right?
First of all, this has been in makings for about 3 or 4 months now. We've already gone to the attorney prosecutor. We've already gone to the chief. The chief said he has absolutely no problem with this whatsoever. The captain's already reviewed this. He's had absolutely no problem with this. And now we're squabbling over whether or not there should be a penalty. 99% of our ordinances are penalties. We cannot go on a noise ordinance. Discuss it with the police officer. Bottles rattling is very different than embers falling on a 150-year-old house. It's very, very different. It's a safety issue. It is not about fireworks. It is a safety issue. When you're dead drunk falling down and you're shooting off fireworks in your backyard, it's a safety issue.
disorderly conduct.
This has been in existence for 4 years. Now we're all set and ready to vote on it, which we've put off for week after week after week. Now all of a sudden the questions are coming out. Why aren't the questions come out a month ago?
I've tried.
The chief has been looked at, the captain, and our attorney prosecutor, and it's already gone to New Hampshire Municipal Association. Come on.
Peter?
Fire embers falling on a house, to me, that is life safety, fire department issue, not necessarily police. We do have a permit fee here also in this. I think it should be attacked from the life safety and then look at densities.
Ashley?
Can we add more specificity to that ordinance and say specifically fireworks landing on anyone else's property, fireworks that cause a fire? I mean, if it's about getting the people that are the problem, the few people that are causing a problem, then they would have that to back them. Even though I do think it's vague enough that they could enforce it with the disorderly conduct.
I think there's too many parts, but that's just my opinion.
take the permit part out of it.
Yeah, take
And
the
vote
permit
on
part.
it. Take it up at another time. We'll bring the fire chief in and we'll bring the police chief in and talk about the permit and why they feel that the permit needs to be in. But take the permit part out of it and then vote on it.
How does
Because
everyone
we-
feel about that?
I still have, so we're taking the whole permit process out?
Take the whole permit process out.
So where are we starting at?
I would leave it, I don't have it, I would leave in the penalty clause, but I'd leave out the whole permit process.
All our ordinances have penalties.
Yeah. So leave out permits required, procedure to obtain a permit.
Yep, I'd be good with that.
Make a motion to amend the fireworks to remove the permit portion of the ordinance
And the procedure to obtain a permit.
and the procedure to obtain the permit.
Second. Oh, we already have a motion on the table.
Well, I
John,
amended it. I made an amendment to that motion.
Did you make the motion in the first place?
No, you did.
Okay, that's good, I'm good with that.
So what would that do?
So we'll leave out on page 2, the whole permits required, and on page 3, the whole procedure to obtain a permit.
So all of page 3, the bottom third of page 2,
Yeah.
okay?
Yes. There's a little bit of the language in here that would have to be rewritten to leave out where it says permitted location, revocation of permit. But that's pretty simple that's pretty simple stuff. Is everybody good with that?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we need to also add it to the specific language at some point now.
I agree with you. All right, so as far as the motion that's on the table, I'm going to call a vote. All those in favor of the motion on the table, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Abstain.
Aye.
Is that an
Abstain?
abstention?
No, I didn't, what did I say?
Well, I already
said
went to
anyone
She
abstain.
abstain.
didn't give me chance to say my aye, she's running right along. I'm trying to be dramatic.
All caps.
The vote is unanimous.
Point bold.
We were able to
Can you work on
negotiate an
language,
agreeable
Brad?
resolution, Pat.
And then double up on it.
Does everybody, Gail and Joyce, do you understand the motion that was made? Do you see that, will you look through this and remove the language that reflects the permit required part? Thank you. And then next week we can sign it. But right now it's law because we've voted it, so.
You
Nice
so declare.
job. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
I so declare it. Thank you.
Today?
Yes.
Okay.
Joyce, we're ready for you.
Send it over to them, call them, but I- I don't know which one of these.
Oh, I haven't signed any of them, that's okay. They're good to go.
What is to be signed? Pat, alright, so it's John and, Catherine.
What did Pat say?
That's early.
No, I said, I'm just looking to see if he still needs to sign these dispositions.
Yeah, I'm cutting to that.
I thought I got it.
Yeah, Pat's got them, I need John and, Catherine.
You have a majority of signatures, don't you?
Yeah, does anybody want to look at them and sign them? I don't know what's in the confidential.
Shut this off.
It's evaluation.
That's, yeah, yes.
All right, just want to see photos. Okay, I'm gonna be real quick because it's been a long, hot day. We had fun, setting the stakes. I got an email from Rachel today. I don't recall if I forwarded it to everybody yet or not.
With the date? I think you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday, August 17th.
Do we need to be there?
Some one of us should be down just in case.
If not, we may want to have someone from DPW with a chainsaw,
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that, yeah.
Good job.
just in
Just in
case
case?
we have to drop a tree or two for the track machine.
Okay.
I think I can be available.
They get highway. Okay. An MS1 extension request form. I had to draw in extra lines for the selectmen.
Started it. Please.
The deadline is September 1st. Lauren's next contract day is September 7th, and I'm going to be on vacation that week. So I'm asking for an extension until the 15th. Also, DRA, again, every year they change the MS1 form, and they change the way that it has to be transmitted electronically. And they haven't worked out those kinks yet. So rather than just leave it for Lauren and Gail or Tim or somebody or her to, bring to the selectmen Thursday night on the 7th, I mean, you can have it, but I wouldn't sign it because we can't even bother to transmit it. So I'm asking until the 15th, and I'll be back by then. I can deal with it. Okay. I gave you project reports. Only new items are, I spoke with the resident of 15 Church Street, and I said, he just wanted to know if the selectmen, all he's asking is if the board could write a letter to DOT and request that the state fix the drainage problem that he has.
Which one is 15 Church Street?
PB,
Is that?
I think so.
Yes, PB.
Okay.
No J.
So I need to get the language of exactly where the drainage is coming from and what direction, what have you, so I was gonna work with Brock on that.
There are some significant issues on River Road as it pertains to drainage, so perhaps it's time that we have a visit from somebody from DOT to look at more than just 15 Church Street. There's a catch basin on River Road that's absolutely atrocious, that somebody's gonna get hurt. The sinkhole at Deer and Route 3, I notice is swallowing up the cones. And I firmly believe, I've showed Brock the blueprints, that culvert went in long before any building was constructed on that corner. District 3 is taking the stand that the people who put in the condominium units, or those apartments, put in that culvert. That's incorrect. So, we have at least 3 areas they need to look at. And the sidewalk that we have yet to do along the river is another.
Because they have to fix the,
So,
For the sidewalk along the river.
Didn't he say
Right,
that
the
in his
river.
report? Is he getting that done?
because the
Oh,
culvert,
yes, at Park Street.
yeah,
Packer Brook,
Packer Brook.
Okay,
Right,
so those 4 things.
right.
So I'll request from Alan that he meet with the selectmen, give us a date and time.
yeah, and I think we should take them on a tour.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Good
Okay.
idea.
The other is, a number of years ago, maybe some of you will recall, you know where Exxon is? The gas station?
Next
Evans
to
Mart?
Irving's.
Evans, yeah,
Evans, and it used to be the old pipe culvert there, there's
Yes.
a little brook.
It's an old asphalt plant dryer, but yes, a
Yes,
couple of
and then
them.
you're going to Applebee's and all that. From time to time, the different property owners get together and decide if there's any way they can work with DOT and the owners about those developments to reinstate that culvert so that people can catch the light at 132.
Good luck with the lawyers. Lawyers aren't gonna, going from behind Evans across the bridge and you come out the road next to Applebee's to the light is what they want.
So I
But
don't,
it's the Shaw's Plaza, I believe, owns the culvert. Why are they gonna want a liability? Plus, it needs to be totally redone.
right.
So what's
It's
your
a failed
point?
bridge.
What's the point here?
Oh,
I
that
have some
we have,
important information about that.
okay, well, we have two of the property owners from each side that would like to facilitate discussions for that, to see if we could get that going.
How does that involve the town?
Because I think the last time, the town at least, scheduled to have DOT meet with them and,
That has absolutely nothing to do with the town. That I can see.
No, if we were going between the diner and FSB to access 140 over their sliver.
oh, no, not that.
Okay.
Not to access 140. This is so that the people coming out of Tilton Diner and FSB and that thing, instead of having to sit there.
Okay, but that's all
We just need to
private.
be a little bit more
John, you had
aggressive.
something you wanted to add?
On the original site plans, for them to do that, there was a problem with, there was questions on whether or not they should have that exit on 140, but it was the sight lines, and the problem was that they only had one entrance to get in and out of that whole area. And the fire department was adamant about that. On the original site plans, they were required to have that bridge open and maintained, and to have a key for the fire department. So if you go back to the original site plans for that whole development, they failed to maintain that bridge and culvert.
Well, that's good information. So, because neither Dari and I were around. You remember what year? What went in first there?
The first thing was the Evans and then the diner? Because they converted the Evans into the
Diner.
salt shed.
The diner went in
The
first
diner
before
went in
Evans.
first.
Then it might have been the Evans, and one of those, it would be when I was Conservation Commissioner or something. So it'd be no further back than 95, 96,
I would think.
Okay.
and then, so,
So there'll be, that's a year I'll
Yeah,
go back.
because Evans come in after that.
yeah.
But as John pointed out, that was a key for the fire department to go through there, which is interesting. They'd have to get out and open it to go through. But-
Yeah, just so it was supposed to be a passable gate.
So
Which,
it still doesn't resolve the issue of having the general public be able to go through there. I don't see that that involves the town. That's all private property. The town has absolutely no ownership of any of that.
True.
And it's always been a question of liabilities of, if there's an accident or somebody falls through or you get caught in a flash flood, who's responsible? Who's liable? The property owner? Because at one point, when it did wash out, and we were talking about how to get in and out of that whole complex where the diner is safely, and then I think it was Owen Wellington that came up with the hiding behind, making the median wider so you can hide behind it. The issue came up
All right,
again.
that was, so that would have been in 2007 then, 2007? Because I remember that vaguely.
There was a whole conversation about opening it up, and no one wanted to be liable.
So this is in
They
between
wanted the
the,
town to take it over, and that
Okay,
was absolutely absurd.
Neither of these two individuals
Yeah.
had that. They
But
just
I'm
wanted
just
to know
telling
how
you
to
some
bring it
history
back
of it.
so
Right.
everybody can talk.
so this is in between the strip mall in Evans.
This is
Going
in
up to
between
there.
Shaw's
Shaw's and Evans.
and Evans.
so who's talking from the east? Isn't that E.S. Bolus Company owns the whole plaza?
There is one company,
Yeah,
I
the
believe,
whole-
that owns that property.
They own the whole, and they lease
stores.
everything out.
Where
So-
I'll just say it's
No, the Shaw's Plaza, I
two
think.
plazas.
The answer to this is it's a civil matter between them.
Well, and DOT, isn't it?
No,
No, DOT doesn't have any jurisdiction, DES does over the brook,
Well, no, because they'd be putting more traffic at that light.
to a parking lot, so what?
maybe. But it doesn't involve
Well,
the
except
town.
for they're taking it away from another situation that DOT wants them to
What are you
reduce
talking about?
traffic, so they're not
So
gonna care.
if you-
So if this is, can't write on that.
Here.
I'm going into Duncan's Franklin Diner.
Yep,
This is the Shaw's entrance.
yep.
Well, connecting these,
Okay, that's
There's the
exactly what I
brook.
thought it would be, okay.
this is all washed out.
Yep,
They want to reopen that.
Okay.
You're gonna have to put in a brand-new box culvert or something. There's-
Right.
That's like, I don't even think it was a box. when
No,
I-
no, it was two,
Yeah,
it was, I
culvert.
think, two asphalt plant dryers that were junk that Milo just set down there to make culverts,
A Tilton Diner, get the address.
recycled.
Okay.
I wanna say 64
Yeah.
Joyce,
Tony
can we
Road.
move on, because this is not involved the town? Does anybody disagree with me? Does anybody think this involves the town?
I think the town should look in to make sure we have fire safety things.
I think
And
your
then at
point
that
is-
point might stimulate them to start getting along with each other
Yeah.
and build the proper bridge and have it
Yeah.
open for
Your point
safety.
definitely needs to be researched. That was good.
It might solve everybody's.
I agree with John.
Next, Joyce.
Okay. I gave you the research on Shaley. I don't know if you want to talk about that at this meeting or not.
Yes, I'll talk about it.
And then the only other thing that we need is if you could give me a date to hold the public hearing for accepting the funds.
Next week.
Do I have to publish it in the paper?
Okay, week after.
Week after, okay. Oh, good, because I'll be here.
Um,
But be thinking about how you're gonna spend it.
well,
You have
it's
to
not
spend
gonna
it.
lapse, it can go on the road fund.
Well, it has to be accepted and has to be spent on a new project. It can't go into unreserved fund balance. It has to be reserved. It has to be reserved for highway projects.
We've got all
And one of
kinds
the
of.
questions was, is that, well, can it go in the capital reserve fund? And no, because you need an appropriation to do that. This is money that the legislature wants to make sure that it is spent on new construction projects.
Define new project, because to me, I could argue redoing a sidewalk's an old project, it's maintenance, it's not.
No, not, that you can't use it to replace money for projects in this year's
So in
budget
other words-
and show it as revenue to the town.
We can't say, okay, we're gonna pay for this sidewalk project with that money that
'Cause
we've
it's a-
already done,
right.
because it's an
Correct.
old
Right,
project.
right, that you cannot use it to offset your 2017
But the most
tax
important
rate.
thing is it doesn't lapse.
True,
That's the most important thing.
yes, but
Okay.
you can't let it lapse into your unreserved fund balance that you use it to reduce your tax
But
rate.
we can make a
A new
project.
balance, a
We
new
can do
fund.
that.
Yeah, you could just, like we do when we accept money to do things, you just
That-
keep track
yeah.
of it separately, like we
Is-
do with our CDBG money.
Did you see the sidewalk going to the school?
Yeah, I think
It's
that,
real
well, and
bad.
these are the things you'll be talking about at the public hearing.
Right. Good, all right.
Okay.
So the
All right.
so the
So that'd
17th,
be
this
the-
is 7,
No, it'd be
August
the
17th?
Be the
Let's have our
14th.
Public Works Director
14th is a
advise
Monday.
us on projects.
September. I'm in September.
17th choice.
Let's make sure our Public Works Director is there and ready
Oh,
to
yes.
advise us on projects. I'd like to get that list, priority list, before the public
Yes.
hearing.
Yes, and then, one other thing, did you notice in the, Echo, that the company that's doing the solar garden, they are,
Samuelson.
okay, so it'll be interesting to see what their pilot is. So at some point, we need to sit down and review that and talk about it and see what we want to do. And I think I've narrowed down who the property owner is.
Okay, love to hear it.
So Jerry Shaley donated a parcel of land to the town, and I don't even remember what year it was. I guess I have it in front of me, 2006. On the southern side of the railroad tracks. So if you went, everybody know where Noyes Road is? All right, if you went down Noyes Road and you took a left up Wolf Road, and if you went through the gate, and don't take a right up towards Mr. Wolf's house, but go through the gate, you're on the town's property that Mr. Shaley gave us. The railroad tracks divides it from the other tracts of land that he owned that are bound by Route 3. So in between Route 3, the railroad tracks, our property. He is in a tentative agreement to sell the property where the snow dump was to a company that went through the site plan process and was approved for storage containers. The problem is they didn't notice that there is in the subdivision, and it's referred to in the deed, a right-of-way to go from, ours is referred to as other land, our property, the other land, across the railroad tracks and come out on either one of the three properties although I think it's down to 2 because I believe I own the third. But nevertheless, the right-of-way exists to allow us to go across the tracks and access Route 3 through those properties. He's asking us if we'd be willing to give up that right to pass over those properties. Now, I don't think the town would ever vote to access it because, number one, you'd have to go through the Bureau of Rail and Trails and you'd have to build a crossing to go over those railroad tracks. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars.
Why did the town accept that piece of land? What was the purpose in accepting the land? What were they gonna use it for? What was the intent?
He was willing to donate to us a piece of property that abuts the lake.
Got a
And
tax
it's green
break.
green space. It
Why
really
would-
can't be used for, I mean, you could spend a lot of money on developing it and you'd end up with a very small beach.
Then why do they need to have it back?
They don't want it back. They want us
Or I mean,
to,
why do they want the right of way?
so that he can sell that property without the cumbersome of, we can pass over it wherever we want, because that's what the language is. We don't need the right of way because we have a road that already crosses the railroad to our property. So what I'm putting to you is, number one, would you really put a second access and go through the expense of crossing the railroad tracks and then put a road through any one of those properties just to get to Route 3?
So we already
Maybe.
have a town road?
We don't know that, though.
No, what? The Noyes Road and Wolf
We
Road
have an
exist.
access, we have a right-of-way to a
That's right.
property. In the future, we don't know what that property would bring, you know. what-
It's swampland.
So, we have a deeded right-of-way to Wolf Road for that parcel?
I was told by the person that lives on that road that we do not have any right to go on that road. I
Really?
thought it was a town road. He said, no, this is a
So we
private.
don't
It's
have-
private.
I believe that at one time, we wanted to go up to that piece of property that we own. As a matter of fact, I thought that we did something to that road years ago, and we got thrown off of that road with Dennis.
I have no
We
idea.
did not, we had no access to that road
And I
whatsoever.
was told that again when I went out there to, we were checking on
Which
trash
would-
pickup, and he prevented us from going on the road.
So if that's the
So if
case,
that's the case,
we don't have any access to
we
the
have no,
road.
we don't have any access
Well-
to that property.
Yeah,
We
we
need
do.
to do some
We
more
do, through
research.
Shelley. That's why you don't want to give it up.
And as I recall, that's why we
Or
didn't
Catherine.
bother to develop it, because it was just gonna be too expensive to get through there.
What if we
So-
say to him he can sell the whole thing and buy us out?
He gave us the property. You want to sell it?
Oh, it's the
to him?
same person?
Well, and it was accepted by vote of town meeting.
Right, you can't sell it with that.
And if you read the notes on the subdivision plan, the recorded plans says that there's a deeded right-of-way. And the deeded right-of-way doesn't go away unless it's sold to an abutter.
Right-of-way shall be reserved across other lot 1, lot 2, or lot 3 for access to other land, which is ours, of Fred Herzl, I don't know what his wife's name, shown on tax map lot, I can't read that, oh wait a minute, it's a bigger writing. How am I scrunching for? R2115 on the subdivision plan prior to the sale of the last of the 3 subdivided lots shown on the plan unless the landlocked parcel is sold to an abutter. So, there isn't a right-of-way to that property on Wolf Road.
And it's landlocked.
Well,
You take away the
okay, so
right-of-way.
here's the interesting thing. When I was cleaning up the garbage that was in front of the gate,
Right. So he didn't
That
chase
was it.
you out? He didn't chase you out?
no,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
was told by Mr. Wolf that that was our access to our property.
Is there something in writing that that's our access?
Because that's saying it's landlocked.
I couldn't find it in the deed.
That's why
It sounds to me like we have to do some more research on this and then get back to us
I
because
wouldn't get rid of the easement.
That's our
Right
Well,
away.
you can't now,
if that's our only
because at least you can walk across it to get to it. I would never vote to spend any money on a railroad crossing because it's, if you go down there, it's wetlands. There's well now it's Eversource easement across it. And the shorefront is,
And we can't sell it.
well, you wouldn't get anything for it. It's useless land.
True, but he had a good, the value on it was, because there's a letter that the town gave him
Yeah,
for the value of that donation.
I always went.
But the other thing too, in reading in the deed or in the plan, I really haven't had a chance to look into this. I love stuff like that. It was, it sounded like this right to pass hasn't been defined on those lots. There's no
The
width.
class
Right.
any, yeah,
It could be
and that's
anywhere.
the issue,
So maybe it would help
to
I would
define the
help
path.
him if we define where that path
Well, and
was.
here's the other thing, it doesn't have to be through the property that he is currently selling, which I believe is two, the middle one. There's still the one on the lot. So, I mean, if you don't mind calling up Jerry
Right.
and having a conversation with him, I mean, his lawyer's gonna have to draw something up, not us.
Yeah.
But that we would give up the right to cross anyone and
Excellent point.
have the right to cross one.
Right.
I believe that was Joyce's, but I looked at,
Because even if we don't develop it, if we keep it as open space, because there's nothing that's more lovely than being out on the lake and looking and not seeing camps right there.
undeveloped. If you look at the
For
deed,
wildlife and, but for the conservation commissioner of the town to go out there from time to time, make sure no one's living out there. I mean, it's your property, go out there. We should keep the right to walk through there.
But if he gives it
well,
the
you can
right
walk over my property.
via another lot, we still have, as long as we have access,
As long as we have
we're not
access.
giving up the
Right.
easement, we're not giving up any easement.
Right.
It's just in a different location,
Right.
so I would say, yeah.
I would look at the location to see if
Right.
at some
We'd have to
point in the
walk it and
future, a rail crossing might be economically feasible.
Or a foot crossing,
Yeah.
so like a nature viewing area,
Yeah.
Sure.
a wildlife viewing area.
Bottom line, it
rail-
needs
rail
more
trails
research.
or-
Yeah. And I think we need to have a site walk.
In a
Bring your
swamp?
boots.
No, I don't think so, not me.
I'll go.
There's
Wow.
snakes and I don't like
Oh,
snakes.
I got my rubber boots.
Part of
Suckers.
this deed refers to
Bring it
Get the
with
the
you.
tick.
Wolf's lot and other lots, but I think it has
I'll
to
look from
do
the
with
lake.
the
I'll do the
description
lake
of land and not right-of-ways. I looked at the deed that was given to Jerry Shaley.
Yep, that's it. If you want, you can hop on.
And,
The hurdle deed.
Bring your own beverages.
yeah, hurdle to Shaley, and the only thing I found was,
Oh.
The Bavarians, there is a
yeah,
jet ski.
I wrote it down.
Well, I saw too that he had a development there, he was gonna do a hotel.
No.
I thought, well, geez, why wouldn't he want to have kept that lot? He could have had a walking path or trail for people from his hotel to go down.
I wrote it down
You
and they
tell
don't,
your
but there is
folks to
reference to
take
the
everything.
right-of-way, but it's not to pass a wolf.
That's all your stuff, that's
Oh.
your.
Oh, there it is, right-of-way across railroad land. That's what's in the hurdle deed.
In a Karen.
So that the state says
So the
you
state can't say you can't, we have a deeded right to.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just thought that was interesting, so.
It is, so if you'll contact him and let him know what's going on, he's postponed his closing. So,
So, okay, so we'll,
and, I would contact the next step in this would be to, and I could do the research for you, is to, who has the right of way to use Wolf Road? And contact those people to see if they would allow the town to share in that right of way, which means that we would share in the cost of maintenance of the road.
but we don't own the road. We don't own the road.
If we have property that relies on the road to access, then we would have the right to use the road, and therefore would we not share the expense of maintaining it as an abutter? but that's a discussion for another
But you
time.
want me to call Jerry?
If you call Jerry, let him know what's going on, what we found out, and let him know that he is incorrect about Good Friday being an access.
All right, so that's all for now. And we'll be working alone Friday and Monday. Gail's at a workshop, and Dari's at a workshop Friday, right?
I'm at the workshop Friday.
Yeah, but I thought he was too, because he wanted to make sure that, because Sheena will be here.
Oh, right.
And so I said, yeah, I'll be here.
No, I think he's got appointments for tonight. Hey, do you have
Okay.
anything for us tonight?
No.
Ashley?
No.
I do. So I've been doing some research and kind of checking in once or twice with Ashley on the Employee Appreciation Day. So Joe Jesserman has kindly agreed to doing whipping the hamburgers and hot dogs. And Cheryl will do potato salad and macaroni salad and garden salad. And we can call Market Basket ahead of time and they'll do up the hamburgers. They're much better than and cheaper than the frozen at BJ's. And also the hot dogs. So then we would just need condiments and chips and probably some paper goods and soda.
Or a punch.
Water?
Water, soda water, yeah, but I was gonna say drinks. How about, the best day for Joe is on a Wednesday. We don't need to have it specifically around him, but I thought Wednesday might be a good time because it's getting close to the end. How about Wednesday the 16th? And the other thing that we need to consider is that it's okay, do you want to have it like at the end of the day, like at...
Well, I was gonna say, if it's gonna be a work day, should we just do it at like lunch hour? Because, or either that, do it on a Friday or Saturday.
Usually when we do things for the employees, we try to do it at like the end of a shift or the end of, like Public Works, they get out of what, 3? When does the shift change at the PD, that kind of stuff. So as many employees
Aren't they working
as
till
possible.
I don't
know
know
what their shift is.
Somewhere
There's
else.
summer hours.
As many as possible
At
can
6:30.
attend. That's what we try to do.
But you have to consider too that Cindy's office is open until like 5.
If she knew ahead of time, she could put a sign in her door that said she'd be closed from
Well, that's not what I got for real.
2:30 to 3:30 or something. Or whatever.
She doesn't even do that for the Christmas party.
I know, but it gives her at least the option of doing it.
I would think if we're cooking lunch for, and these guys have been out working hard, they're probably gonna be pretty hungry right around the noon time. And if we don't feed them then, they're gonna go and eat. So what's the point of cooking for them
Good
again
point.
at 3 o'clock? So you might want to have a different thing. Turn it over to an ice cream party or, with fruit cups or something, but.
So what does everybody
these
think,
are-
noontime?
If it's gonna be on a weekday.
Noontime.
It's about when we
Peter?
get hungry, isn't it? About 11 o'clock, we start looking at the
Whenever.
clock and saying,
Just let me know
Noontime.
So, like a noontime thing on a Wednesday
on
and
the 16th.
How, should we set a time? Like how long?
like from what, 12 to
1:30?
2? 2.
And they're allowed to come and stay.
Yeah.
When are you gonna
People
start
can shift,
cooking?
So,
Well, I mean, probably...
Quarter of?
Quarter of?
Yeah.
By quarter off, he's gonna bring the grill. So I have a couple folding, we have picnic tables there too, right? So they'll come in.
I didn't think grills were allowed in the park.
Yes. Well, I hope not, because, I hope they are, because we had,
I don't remember.
It depends who you
The other
talk
day.
to, I think.
I don't remember.
Live free or die.
Park commissioners meet next week?
No.
Yeah.
Is this the
2
island?
weeks.
Like
Two
we do up a
weeks.
flyer like I did for the
The first was Tuesday.
function.
Oh, yeah.
Like employee appreciation.
Together.
It's that
She wants to put out a flyer.
flyer to the
They're thinking about
employees.
parking
On the
They'll get
flyer, make sure you indicate that parking is available along Route 3 in the river,
Right occur.
in the old post office, and in the church parking lot. We'll have to get in touch with the church to confirm that we will be using their parking. Minimal parking is available in the Riverfront Park parking lot.
Do you want to do?
No parking is allowed at Riverfront Place.
Do you want to do Riverfront? Well, because it's got the picnic. Do you want to do Riverfront Place or do you want to do the island?
I do the park.
Okay.
The park commissioners meeting, I don't think they're gonna,
What?
Is August 16th too soon?
There's a group that usually attends there at noon.
so we'll cook burgers for them.
Okay, got it.
They can be part of our party.
There you go. That's good.
Fine with it. It's just, it's very
They'll love it.
They
It's
can
a very
have
simple
mine.
appointment to say people that go there. Yeah. I don't know if it's what day it's on.
Oh, he's gonna go.
We'll put you on Skype.
I know.
What is
Whoa,
that?
the Sandberg's great.
All right,
Oh, I know.
moving right along. Next,
That sounds like, well, wait a minute, I have maybe one more thing.
Well, wait, what's the date?
The 16th, 12
You
to
don't think
2.
that's too soon?
Think that we can get it all together and bought and stuff?
No, it's not.
I don't know, I think even just for people that are gonna come. I mean, it's a two-week notice, I don't know.
We don't have excessive vacation days. I mean, already signed out for that day, do we? Or is it like a big,
they're all gonna, Public Works is gonna come on their lunch
Okay.
hour. People from
Yeah.
here will come from,
remember if there's a lot of
and the
requests
police
for
will come
that
as they
day?
can.
I'd have to check
Snow
with the,
weeks would be less likely.
Well,
Check and see if
yeah,
it's
why don't
like
you let
a
us
high
check with the departments
vacation.
and see who's all gonna be around.
So can you get back to us
Tentative, yeah.
as soon as possible? Because that way, we can do the 16th or the 23rd and then,
I won't be trouble.
we really want to
I
appreciate
think we
you,
really
so
just need to do it on the,
the 16th and whoever comes.
just do it on the
comes.
It's
16th.
the end of the summer
And for a
party.
rain date.
Well, we're under
Under the
The
pavilion.
pavilion's
under
under,
the pavilion.
Not your grill.
yeah, that's right, the grill can't be under the pavilion.
Right, go.
Will people come?
If you do, he'll really blow a gasket.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just bring big bumper shoots. And we'll stand over the cook.
Beach umbrellas.
Beach umbrellas.
I have to see that.
I'm with you, I'll hold it.
All right, so I'll make sure that we've got people that are around that day. Okay.
Pat, anything else?
No, let me see.
Have you been able to resolve the burglary yet?
No, and we,
Has Tim been able to?
no, and unfortunately, he's gonna be tied up the next couple of weeks, so.
Isn't it gonna roll over?
It is. That's the way it is, though.
This is at the senior center.
Family is important.
You may want to look into the Ring surveillance devices. You can get them at Home Depot. They are slick.
Yeah.
Goes right to your phone within, it's like a 3-second delay.
Yeah, I saw that on the news, on
It's
TV.
$250 for, and the one I'd suggest is that it's 2 floodlights with the camera. You can set your floodlights to dusk to dawn, timer, or motion. The camera works all the time. It's got like a 140-degree angle. It's amazing how far out it goes. The annual cost is $3 a month or $30 a year per camera. They do have a maximum of $100 if you have a whole group of them.
Do you have to have an electrician to hook it up? You have to,
Well, you're gonna have to hardwire it into power. That's pretty much it. That's all. You'll need a power source. So like if you had an outside light,
Just
we have an
replace it.
outside
you can
floodlight now.
use that. You just may, depending where that is, you may want to extend it to a new location. But that would be it for the.
That'd be something we could do. That would be, and
Yeah, I
then it
saw
would come
that, I thought.
It
well, I'd like do
comes
that.
to.
more than one phone?
Yeah, because my neighbors, the husband and wife both have it on their phone. I'm not sure the max number that can check, but
At
it's
least
something.
Two
Yeah,
phones, Emily and myself, that would be perfect.
yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, that's good. I'll look
John?
into that.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah, Home Depot has them.
Just,
Well, let me know and I can.
This
put it
spring
on
we
the
had,
card. You can find what you want.
Okay.
we had a pretty good amount of runoff coming through the river and pretty significant flow. The island is really taking a beating. Just from those rocks not being even temporarily set back into place, it's washing away. And if you take a walk around the edges, you can see it's undermining underneath the roots. We're getting $54,000 that we weren't really expecting to be getting. And I think if we've got money put aside, I know Northfield doesn't want to do it, but somebody should at least look into picking up those rocks and at least stacking them back up to provide us with a few more years until we decide what's going to happen. So I just want to put that seed in everybody's head that we're never going to get the engineering and that.
Why don't we ask Brock to look at that? And I had someone suggest to me that we could use a device simple as a
Tripod.
a motor remover device.
A what?
If you want to take a motor out of the car,
Oh,
use
yes,
this
a
device.
motor jack,
It's
okay.
a
Thank you.
hoist, yeah.
That would be strong enough to lift those. It's not a piece of equipment we have to locate in the river, because we used to have Kenny come over.
Kenny, yeah.
He'd put his excavator in the river, come over from Northfield, lift him up, put him back in place. Well, DES won't allow that anymore. So, would you ask Brock to look at that?
Yeah.
And you're right.
Because I've, over the years, we've moved, I don't know if anybody else has done, moved rocks, pulled engines, pulled big logs. Something as simple as a tripod.
Yeah.
3 things with the winch and doing that. And and just to at least put them into place to keep it from getting worse until then. That's all I had.
Thank you.
After you,
No, do you have something?
I have one, I forgot. After you.
Go ahead. No, I have 2 simple things.
Okay, I think that we all need to start thinking about, even though we don't want to think about Joyce leaving, for budget reasons, number one, for budget reasons, because next year, in the fall, Joyce will be leaving us, and we will be needing to advertise, we will be needing to try to find a place. We don't know what we want to do to even think about restructuring or replacement. So we need to have that conversation with hopefully Joyce. And also we need to put that in the budget as what we're going to do when we finally get that decision. So we need to start having those kinds of tough conversations, not tonight, but pretty soon during budget season, to get that in the works, because hopefully whomever it is going to need to do some shadowing and things like that.
What does the research, well, I'm going to call it research, usually cost when you have the municipal, local, whatever,
Couple thousand.
Donna Concord, LGC?
Well, GC's no longer.
Yeah,
Well,
they don't do
And
that.
I don't believe that municipal association even offers that service anymore.
Right.
Primax? Or are they just strictly insurance?
There's just strictly insurance, but they can help you with, they have a legal department if you have questions about.
No, we have
HR
that.
things.
No, that service that they provided for that was
Yeah,
was
that's
always
all-
an option.
yeah,
But no,
local
all right.
governments have
And
that
that was
stuff.
usually around, what, 4,000 or 5,000?
Oh, no. Well, it all depends what you wanted
Yeah,
done.
yeah, we.
Done was around 4,000 or 5,000.
Really?
Remember, there was one service that he had, and then it depended on what it
Right.
was.
All right, that's a good point, thank you, Pat.
And Wednesday night is the fundraiser for the senior center at Tilton Diner, and every child is ours, we're splitting it with them.
Oh, next week.
August 9th.
August 9th.
I have 2 quick things. So, a while back, we removed the tree that was outside the inn by the alleyway. And then we voted to allow them to put back in a tree as long as it was compact, didn't bush out, went straight up, they maintain it. And then we decided not to let them put in a tree because we were concerned about running drainage through there. So now that we're not running drainage through there, They have asked, they would like to put a tree back in there. Same thing, compact, straight up, not bushy. And they would be very willing to do something to lock the gate to the alleyway.
I thought they were just gonna put in flowers.
Well, they have flowers all along their porch. They specifically would like to have some type of evergreen, tall tree.
If it's, see, that's an
Arborvitae, maybe.
Yeah, but we already,
Be
we
about your
already
only evergreen.
paved over.
They can cut it out. Not us, but they can cut it out. That's easy. You
One
can-
of the issues that we had was a lot of kids hid behind the tree to do their deals.
Yeah.
And if it's not real tall, seriously, they did. If it's not real tall, I'm in favor of it, but if, if
Well-
you can't hide behind it, the gate's locked, you're not really gonna go in the alley. They didn't really go in the alley too much.
No, but if the gate's locked, there's a smaller area.
Right.
They can't really hide. What they're describing is just a tall, thin tree, so.
It's an arborvitae type of thing.
But you said evergreen.
Well,
Just-
we're already putting a tree there. I think,
We're putting a different type of tree out by the
In the front.
sidewalk. They'd like a tree there. It's not gonna obstruct the sidewalk, because after all, you wouldn't walk straight into their porch.
why can't we put like a bench there or something? So they don't go back in there.
I'm all in favor of having them do something permanent to keep the gate secure and locked, but I quite frankly wouldn't want to sit on a bench in front of an alley.
That gives them
Why not?
permission to sit and loiter with the
Yeah.
bench.
That gives me and we already have 2 benches in front of town hall.
And they sit in
They just
front of the
feel,
church down there in a bench all day long.
they just feel that it would beautify. John?
I think one of the biggest problem is with that is that even an arborvitae can grow 3-4 feet wide across like that. And it creates a screen for somebody to urinate back there and do stuff like that. And nobody's watching and just kind of like ducking the bushes. You got a place that was serving alcohol, I mean, it had a few.
Yeah, we got
As well,
cameras
too.
now. If they want to do that on
Yeah.
camera, that's fine.
They're willing to police it, but do you want to,
Yes, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I just think it's nice when one of the downtown merchants wants to take it upon themselves, no expense to the town, to do something they think would beautify it.
I agree.
I mean, I could go with or without, but
I think
We could limit
very
that.
specific.
yeah, that's what, thank you.
We have them bring it back to us specific,
Okay,
on how
so-
big it will get and everything. And
Does everybody
tell them the
agree?
concerns that we have.
Let them present what they'd like to plant to us.
I agree.
As long as they know our concerns were people hanging out there,
I think if they know our
Eating.
concerns, right, I think if they know that.
selected something that would,
Drug and urine deterrent tree.
Loitering and drugs.
all behind this little arborvitae. It's a
Charlie
busy
Brown.
area.
Wow,
In the gate.
I've been missing some excitement. All right, I will bring that back to
Yeah.
them. My other comment is, wall's done, they're gonna be cleaning the space next week, so I assume we're
Nice
gonna,
job.
you do something?
I have one more.
We're gonna go through the process of moving land use up here, I'm gonna go up there. I'd like to be able to, I've looked, I cannot find a bookcase in the public buildings anywhere. I thought there was one downstairs, but there's not.
A what?
A bookcase. So those shelves, I'm gonna leave there because land use can utilize them. But now I need a place to put those, so I thought just some sort of bookcase.
Well, I've got a perfect solution for you. I mean, how big do you need it? As big as that?
Well, I use the 1, 2, 3, 4 rows.
We have a really great guy that does really nice stuff down at the Public Works. It'll cost us lumber. Have him build one.
Oh, I didn't know. I was gonna suggest the state surplus down there, what is it, Pleasant Street?
That That's a perfect place too, but I mean, Lee does some terrific work. That would be, we do it in pine or whatever.
I think that would be good.
Oak would last a lot longer. but-
That's gonna cost a lot more than
Oak.
something at the surplus. Even just the lumber is gonna cost more.
Well, do you want me to go down and
That's
check
true.
and see what
Yeah,
they
check
got
the
at
surplus,
surplus,
that's
see what they
true,
got for
yeah.
prices?
Absolutely, do that.
And then I'll come back to you next week. 'Cause
Yep.
No real hurry.
Right.
I'm done.
I-
Peter, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
did you, I just want to say, I did go down to the Public Works Department, and took a look around, great job. I mean, that whole wall where all kinds of stuff was just kind of like piled up and stored, everything is perfectly in line. I looked at the new trailer, they've got the racks for the cutters and everything, everybody was in there busy, colors look great.
Nice.
I'm
Just-
going in there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, it was, the floors were not swept, though,
Does that mean they've been busy?
so that's good. It wasn't just sweeping the floor, the walls were...
He gave me a tour of up back where the leaf and everything, but he has some ledge pack, it's all pushed back, everything is so neat. There's no leaves, everything's been chipped up. There are piles where the plows are all up and they're neat. All the pipes are all in one pile. It really does terrific. It really looks terrific. And there's a lot of space now going up because it's all, cut back.
There's no storage.
They've done some work up there.
Peter.
Last Saturday was the first of the 2 Saturday weekend hazardous waste pickups. I went to Belmont last week. You'll have to check the sheet. I think Laconia is this weekend with a couple others. Public Works, I believe. So what's that? Messer Street, I think. The nice thing, they are taking fluorescent lights, because for years I've had them from shop lights and didn't know what to do with them. They are taking them, so you can drop those along with the normal hazardous waste off. So
It's hazardous waste and a fluorescent light.
mercury?
Mercury.
I don't know, I don't have any.
So, okay, you have to tell me after.
That was it.
Because I need...
All right, everybody good? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
In
Aye,
favor?
aye. Vote with your feet.
Nice job.
Thank you, Joe.
Mango
Don't collect my
mojitos.
hazardous waste.